talkSPORT Sports Update with NordVPN. Now with built-in next-gen antivirus that automatically detects malicious links, websites and files.
The headlines at 1 minute past 1. I'm Tom Clayton. Good afternoon. Pakistan were in recovery mode after 2 quick wickets, but Ollie Robinson has struck Sam Ellard.
Yeah, Pakistan 53 for 3. Ollie Robinson landing a good ball just outside off on a good length, and Abdullah Shafiq is caught at second slip by Harry Brook as he looks to push down the ground. But Robinson finds the outside edge. He got 5 in the first innings, and now he's got England's third wicket here. So Southwick Hill joined Shah Massoud at the crease. Lunch today at 1:15. Pakistan 53 for 3, trailing by 185 runs.
Overseas listeners can get live commentary on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. And good news, Paul, my mum's texted me the weather's looking good. Now, are we writing off Hull City too early? Pundits and fans alike are consistently predicting them to be bottom of the table, but Hull's owner, Achone Charlie, has told talkSPORT this lunchtime that his side loves being the underdogs.
We are never afraid. We are proud of our boys. These boys made us so many times proud. So for us, it will be an exciting game, and I'm hopeful, of course. And I believe in my boys. I'm sure that they're going to make us proud again.
Hull are back in Premier League action tomorrow lunchtime, hosting Manchester United live and exclusive to talkSPORT. Elsewhere today, Savinho to Tottenham is a done deal, we believe, for £85 million. Talks continue over a move for Omar Marmoush too. Meanwhile, Ezri Konsa will be an Arsenal player. They've struck a deal with Villa in excess of £50 million. Konsa's Arsenal debut could come at Villa live on talkSPORT a week on Monday. This afternoon, Villa have brought in Aaron Wan-Bissaka on loan from West Ham. Get all the latest on that at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Meghan Markle could return to acting after moving back to the UK with Prince Harry, and a disqualified driver who killed a pensioner in a car crash has been jailed for more than 13 years. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This summer, treat yourself to Bridgestone Turanza All-Season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Showers, but less widespread than yesterday. Some thunders possible, especially in the south and west. Temperatures just below normal, but warm in the southeast.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, Andy, please tell us what's coming up.
I'd love to. And coming up over the next 3 hours, Mickey Quinn joins us to record a memorable Coventry performance at Arsenal. Stan Collymore returns for his regular Premier League preview, and we get a referee's take on the Hegebo handball retrospective ban.
That's right. We'll also look at today's big transfer stories, preview a Serie A season featuring a few new England stars, and we'll have 4 more live race commentaries from the York Ebor Festival, including the Judgmont, the big feature race at 3:35.
Lovely. There's all this plus the clips of the week, the return of the Fools panel, and shirt swap for radio makes a million in Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup.
Yeah, one of the many weird, wonderful stories. One that's a bit of a Seinfeld-related story as well. The Yankees doing their bobblehead game later this week. Anyway, we'll tell you more about that later. We'll keep an eye on the cricket for you as well. Regular updates from Sam Ellard. They're taking a later lunch. It's currently 59 for 3, as you were just hearing, but it is 5 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Paul. And start with the news that Amazon's produced a documentary on Gary Lineker's life. It's interesting, really, because, I mean, what do you not know about Gary Lineker? Seriously.
Well, there's plenty to go through, isn't there?
Well, I mean, it's all pretty well documented. His whole life's been filmed. basically.
I've never seen a documentary about Gary Lineker. Have you?
Well, there might be a reason.
lots.
There might be a reason for that.
I mean, you've said it's an interesting and varied life, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I suppose it is, but it's one that's I'd say well documented.
Okay, but
you know.
not by a documentary. That doesn't quite work, does it?
No,
it's well documentary, but he's never had a documentary made about it. You are a funny bloke sometimes.
I am.
I know you'll watch it. Obviously, if what's that show you like about the detective? It's not on anymore because he's dead. Monk. If Monk's on the other side, of course, you probably won't be watching.
I won't watch it. Definitely not. Michael Owen has confessed to being a fan of orcas. He's obsessed with watching documentaries.
Not Jacobs, just orcas. There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Do stop it, orcas.
Do stop it, orcas. No, he loves.
That's why he went and played for Newcastle, was it?
Why?
Orcas.
Orcas.
Black and white.
Oh yeah, they are black and white orcas. Yeah. That's right, black and white orcas.
Every day's a school day, Andy, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, he's a big fan of the orca whale documentary. In it, he says, "Is it fair to describe them as killer whales, Howard?" Which is what I was trying to get
Well, he's got
to.
the seal here was, for me, Howard, the seal was just minding its own business. And suddenly 3 or 4 of them have ganged up on him. Well, you could say that, Michael. Yeah, you could argue that it was unnecessary contact. Well, I mean, they ripped his head off, Howard. Anyway, let's take you back to the ocean and an incident last week. Anyway, you get the idea with that.
You do get the idea with that.
Yeah.
A quick letter from Brian Linford and Pontefract.
I still think they should get their own quiz show. Don't you think Howard...
Who, Brian Pontefract?
No, not Brian Pontefract. Who's Brian Pontefract?
Linford.
Howard Webb and Michael Owen, off the back of the sort of show they do, the referees. Just a kind of quick afternoon quiz show.
Who wants to be a referee?
Let's see if we can work it up. Who wants to be a referee? I suppose it would be a version of You Are the Ref.
Yeah.
With like punters with no particular knowledge of football. That'd be funny. Like Hilda's 73. She never watched
Howard Webb's House of Rules.
Yeah. See, you're flying.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, so we love the work of Howard Webb and Michael Owen when they do the brilliant referees, match officials mic'd up. So let's find them. Let's find them something for afternoons. Let's find them a little daytime format. And he's given you a couple of great titles there. So let's see what we can come up with. We're talking referees later on with because of the Hegebo story.
It's an interesting debate.
It is. Yeah, well, Andy and I were having a kind of proper, a bit of a to and fro earlier on.
We were.
But having said that, I've got a foot in both camps, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, Brian Linford from Pontefract, your mate.
Yeah, he's writing about Harry Kane, and
what's he worried about?
I don't know. It's
worth about 50 million quid.
There's one less word in here that he puts in capitals.
Yeah, and you shout those.
There's just no reason for it at all. But anyway, here he goes.
I think it's art. I think what he does, it's like Samuel Beckett.
Performance art.
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Amazing second Golden Shoe Award brings it to 7 Golden Boot / top scorer awards, 36 goals, Bundesliga 73 season total. Resists. Return to Prem. 213 goals, 47 short of Alan Shearer.
Yes.
Top scorer. Still time, eh, Al?
Yeah.
Don't they? Yeah. They come in. Surely at the start, don't they just go? No, another one doesn't make any sense at all.
You probably sell words. A few copies by mentioning him every day, I would imagine.
Well, no, maybe I do.
Yeah.
I had a very interesting thing happen to me yesterday.
Oh, really?
Have I got time for this?
No, of course you have. Yeah. You, as I said, I come to work and go and nothing happens to me.
But, even I thought this. Yes.
So you just get embroiled in stuff, don't you? What happened?
So I like to go for a walk after the birthday spread and I listen to the Drive show with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bennett. It was good. Funny enough, yesterday I was listening to the cricket because I love cricket.
Yeah.
So now I'm walking, and as I start to walk, as I'm walking, it starts to rain quite heavily.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking at a reasonable pace, and this young fella stops me. He's about 18.
Yeah.
He had a bike, and he said to me, "Can I use your phone?" So I said, "Well, why?" He said, "Well, I've lost my parents."
Hey.
I said, "Well, look, I don't really want
to..." My condolences.
No. He said, "We were supposed to meet and I've lost them." But I mean, honestly, talk about pathetic, really.
I mean,
he must have been about 18. So I said to him, look, I don't want to really give you my phone.
I can understand that.
Because
Andy.
you might cycle off with it and then I'd never see it again.
Yeah.
He said, well, do I look like a phone mugger? I thought, not really.
But what does one look like?
Well, not a posh bloke from Chiswick would be my guess.
Oh, that's what they want you to believe as they cycle off with your phone.
Anyway, so I said, yeah, sure, okay. So I'm standing there and he dials his parents.
Yeah.
And then he's speaking to them. And then, first of all, he couldn't hear it because it was coming out of my Bluetooth headphones. Then I had to disconnect the headphones.
Carnage.
And then he's speaking, but they're like having quite a long conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there getting absolutely soaked. Thanks, mate.
Why is it every day of your life like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Absolutely. I think that is ridiculous.
This is so many. I'm sure Larry David has listened to this show in the past and just written down stuff.
I feel
because
like
that's straight out of Curb, isn't it?
It is. I feel like phoning his parents up and say, "Did you ever actually meet up?" I've still got the number on my phone. I better not.
Yeah. Should we get them on the show today? That might be nice.
Good idea.
Get them on today and say they might not want to come on.
Honestly, they're kids today.
Maybe they'll pay for your dry cleaning bill because you got so wet.
You know, if he was about 8, I'd have said okay. But, you know,
I think you've got a point there. The expectation is, hello, Mum, hello, Dad, where are you? Yeah, I'm sorry, I've just borrowed this guy's phone, so he's getting wet. So, not to say, oh, Brenda, you know, one at 15. Yeah. Oh, no, not her. Yeah. Well, her sister, she's in Spain. You shouldn't be doing that on your phone.
Not really, no.
Did you say that to him afterwards? No, I mean, it's not like you to let it go.
No, I let it go. I just wanted to hurry home.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was getting very wet.
Whale sports people. Robert Minky says Pete in Edinburgh.
Who?
Do we ask for whale sport? I mean, if you want to. No. Thank you, Pete, for kicking it off. Whale/orca based sports stars.
No, it was formats, TV formats for Howard Webb and Michael Owen.
TV formats for Andy. You said Howard Webb's House of Rules, House of Laws.
House of Laws.
It would have to be, wouldn't it? And Who Wants to Be a Referee?
Wouldn't be much good, would it?
Anyway, we're just looking for something, a bit of a shiny floor show, afternoon show for them. If maybe we know the people, maybe we can get it away for them. I think it'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, now Michael's doing his documentary series. Maybe it's anyway. Mickey Quinn joins us next. It's Coventry Arsenal tonight. Arsenal Coventry live on talkSPORT, kicking off the Premier League season. Mick had a very memorable trip to Highbury back in the day with the mighty Cov. And scored a fine hat-trick. He'll talk us through it, I'm sure. And we'll look ahead to tonight's game and how he feels about Coventry these days. He's then off on Sunday for what's going to be a very emotional game, I'm sure, when Newcastle play Liverpool after the death of Kevin Keegan. So Quinny joins us for a bit of a football chat. We'll look at some of the transfer stories of the day. I still remain to be convinced by Savinho, certainly for 85 up to 85 million quid, but I have to trust the manager that he's seen something that I clearly haven't. But anyway, that and Harwood Bellis for Villa and Mintzer for Liverpool and Liam Delap for Forest and other stories as well with Ben Jacobs. We've got live racing for you. Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly once again calling them home. It's the Heritage Handicap to kick us off at 10 to 1. We'll have 4 from the Ebor Festival at York. The Egabo 2-game retrospective ban for that handball last weekend has caused a bit of a stir. What do the refs make of it? Graham Scott will once again join us. We'll preview the Serie A season with a lot of Premier League interest, of course. SV Collymore is back to set up the season, give us his preview of the big kickoff. We'll have a Falls panel. And let's just run through the games very quickly. Arsenal Cov tonight live on talkSPORT. Hull Manchester United tomorrow lunchtime, again live on talkSPORT. And Newcastle Liverpool on Sunday afternoon. You just got to predict the scores of those 3 games. Take us on, Joe Shannon and Stan, 03717 223344. Call us now, we'll call you back. We need you for 10 minutes at 2:45 as always. 03717 223344. We look forward to chatting to you later. You can get in touch on that number on anything, or indeed via the email, text and tweets, talksport.com/H&J, text to 81089, or tweet to TSH&J, that's TSHANDJ. Quinny, to kick us off then, we're here with our good friends at Tool Station. First stop, Tool Station.
it on silent and plane mode the whole time I was on holiday.
Good lad.
I
did message you and you pied me.
Well,
I was like, it's fine.
Well, I didn't get it.
Fine.
I didn't get the message.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm back now, right?
Yeah.
And I got a little surprise for you.
Oh, you got me a present.
I've got you a little prize.
What you got me?
I've got you.
What you got me? Ah! He's got me a Jason Cundy Tottenham shirt.
There you go, mate. You wanted one.
Is this official your shirt?
That's the official, right?
This is a match-worn shirt.
It's a match, well, probably match on the bench.
That's amazing.
I've got a little Sharpie here, mate, and I'm going to sign it in the break.
I want you to sign it. We have to come up with something. What are we going to put on it?
Dear numbnuts.
And that's amazing. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's in my mum and dad's house.
That's so good.
There you
That's
go.
fully fledged. This is proper Premier League.
Yeah.
There you go,
mate.
thank you, mate.
That's
That's
all
going to
right,
go
see?
up on the wall. I
Is it?
didn't get you anything.
That's all right.
So, sorry. I didn't think we were exchanging presents.
Well, no, it's fine. You asked. You did say to me, if I find one, can I have it? And there you go, mate.
You found it. Well done.
Found it, matey.
That's so good.
There you go.
Fits as well. Fits.
Yeah, excellent.
I love the old shirts because they're all massive.
Yeah.
So I can get that on.
Do you want me to sign it? You're going to stick it on your wall? You're going to.
Yeah. Of course I want you.
When Spurs play, you might wear it, Jay.
No. Yeah. What's number 26?
No, I got bumped out, didn't I? Jurgen Klinsmann took me 18.
Yeah, and that's Ledley King's number as well, isn't it? Literally, Cundy's the worst player to wear number 26 for Spurs.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Where should we begin?
He's made it 3, a hat-trick for Mickey Quinn. Arsenal 0, Coventry City 3.
Our little story of 25 years out of the league.
Coventry are going to be relegated to League 2.
Football's about emotions, right? You invest everything in your life.
And Wright has turned it in!
Going to the champions, and we'll hopefully give it our best.
After all of those near misses, Mikel Arteta and his players have finally delivered.
Finishing second 3 times in a row, everybody turned that into a negative before we'd won it.
Erdogan, great touch, chance to make it 3, easily strokes it into the net.
These are the team you're going to have to beat this year, and they're going to blow the rest away.
I saw the fire in the belly, I saw players coming early, and that's all really good signs.
Mason Clark! That will round it off in style!
We've had enough of the pre-season games. We're ready for the real stuff now.
Yes, it kicks off tonight at the Emirates between Arsenal and Coventry. And for those saying they've got no chance, Cov, newly promoted against the champions, let's take you back to 1993 and Coventry going to high-flying Arsenal at then Highbury, of course. Coventry won in style, thanks, in no uncertain terms, to a brilliant hat-trick from our next guest, friend of the show, friend of the station. It is Mickey Quinn. Hi, Mick.
Afternoon, Paul.
Well, I was watching the goals back with Andy earlier on, and I'd forgotten just how good the second goal was. Apparently, Wrighty came up to you afterwards and said that was one of the best finishes he'd ever seen.
Ooh. And what a good judge he is. But it was all about, I couldn't really say the word finesse to me, myself, Paul, but Roy Wegley back-heeled it, and I just guided it left foot into the top right-hand corner, past the England goalkeeper, David Seaman, and then celebrated with the worst celebration in the world, the funky chicken dance. But it was a class finish, and he did come over and say, well done. The third wasn't too shabby neither, lads.
No, it wasn't. We're watching it again now. Both. I mean, again, Wegley's sort of found you in space. You've pulled off right. It was obviously something you guys had worked on. But, again, sort of dead-eyed Dick you were there, straight in the net. Fantastic finish.
Well, I mean, I don't think Arsenal were prepared for Bobby's formation at the start. So he played 4-3-3. I played up front with Roy Wegley and Peter Unlove, Zimbabwean international, and they just caused havoc. I mean, Arsenal just had no answer to them with their movement. And, of course, I got the 3 goals to cream a fantastic performance. But yeah, them 2 caused havoc, and they just couldn't deal with them.
Paul Merson tells a story from that day, which he's added to his after-dinner set, Quinny, hasn't he? Can you tell us the story?
Well, they'd won 2 cups the previous season, and they were expecting to win the league in the opening game of the new Carling Premier League. Anyway, he stunk the place out, Merson, got dragged off at half-time. And George Graham absolutely slaughtered him by saying, I can't believe how bad you were. And I was told you was out on the Thursday on the lash. And he piped up, Merson said, well, that's nothing. Quinny was out on a Friday night and he scored 3. Trying to save us bacon, lads, but it never worked.
So, I mean, I know you've kept a close eye on Cov. They're close to your heart. How are you feeling about how they're going to fare this season, Mick?
Well, I think it could be very much the same as when we played Arsenal in that first game, is that they could have a surprise element coming up out the Championship. Although Arteta, and the scouts would have done the homework on Cov, Frank hopefully will have a few surprises up his sleeve, and maybe, just maybe, they can catch Arsenal cold. I mean, I think they're 14-1 to win the game. We were 16-1 to win the game, but it was at Highbury. So it's very similar going into the first game of the season.
The only thing is, when you looked at Arsenal last Sunday against City, I mean, it's hard to judge because City were so poor, but Arsenal looked good, didn't they? And really good. And so I agree that you would have thought perhaps a good time to play them, but unfortunately, after last Sunday, I'm not sure that's true.
Cheers, on. all the Cov fans are frothing at the mouth with excitement in the new first game.
All the ones
just shot them down in flames.
All the ones on the motorway, on the M1, M6 at the minute.
They won't be put off by me. And look, you never know, do you? It's football. That's the whole point. So
they have had a good season. I know it's hard to judge pre-season games, but they have played particularly well. And the new signing, the Ghanaian Caleb, he's been outstanding in the games. I've just seen a few highlights. I've talked to a few mates who've been in the game. So, look, they've spent a few quid as well, which shows their ambition to stay in the Premier League, like Leeds and Sunderland did last year. So, hopefully, they can nick a point or get something. It's going to be a tall order, but, I think they can play with freedom.
You're going to watch the game in Coventry. You're not going down at the Emirates, are you, Mickey?
No. I'm in a pub called Mr. Shenanigans, an Irish bar in Coventry, 7 o'clock, and I'm going to tell everybody about that wonderful hat-trick for the 5,453rd time.
Are you going to do the funky chicken again?
I am. I've been warming up, actually, as we speak. There's feathers everywhere. And I'm then going to have a bit of a Q&A, bit of a meet and greet, and then watch the game with them.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be a good atmosphere.
We mentioned you earlier in the week, Quinny, because I don't know if you've heard the trail for Alex Crook's transfer roundup.
Yes.
It'll be quite a familiar tune.
They've dusted off Quinny's roundup right here on talkSPORT. Yeah,
Crook is roundup.
They've repurposed it.
That.
Yeah,
I missed that.
We decided.
Toy Story. We nicked it off Toy Story.
Oh, they've recycled it. Then you've taken in a couple of games this weekend. You're going up to St James's Park, which will be an emotional day. We heard you talking about Kevin Keegan on the station after he passed away, and it's going to be a very emotional day, isn't it, for the Newcastle and Liverpool fans?
Yeah, it's unusual, obviously, with Newcastle and Liverpool, and both sets of fans are going to get involved with tributes, I think, around the ground before. And yeah, it's going to be a very, very emotional day. I'm not sure whether Kevin's family are going, but yeah, it's amazing how this happens with Kevin passing, and then the first home game of the season is against Liverpool. But I'll be there. I'm working for the club on the day, and you know, it's one place, and it's just dying to be on that particular day.
Sure. Yeah,
both clubs, you know, close to my heart, and obviously with Kevin. The tributes and everything, I'm really pleased. I picked that game to go to the first one of the season.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it'll be brilliant.
Before we let you go, we got a little tip for York today. Anything you fancy?
I fancy a couple there, Paul. Fancy the Nunthorpe, which is a big race, which is a 5 furlong race. And they go about 45 mile an hour in that. Whoosh. So I fancy the American horse, Basio. They were a bit worried about the ground because they've had a bit of rain there. But they've had a dry overnight, and this absolutely romped home at Royal Ascot, and they've saved it for York. Basio, B-A-C-I-O. Okay. And the other one was Blue Courvoisier in the first 150, little each way on that.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Quinny, a man who knows his racing. We'll be chatting to Rupert and Lizzie. We've got 4 commentaries this afternoon. Well, enjoy tonight, Mick, and of course, I hope you have a great day, emotional day on Sunday, saying goodbye to King Kev. Lovely to talk to you. All the best, Mickey.
Cheers, Paul. Cheers, Andy.
Take care. Mate. There's Mickey Quinn reliving that hat-trick back in 1993 at Highbury. So, all the build-up from 7 o'clock, really all the build-up throughout the day with the boys on drive. Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent will be building up to the game. Adrian with you from 7. And, we bring you the game live tonight. Jim Proudfoot is going to join us for the Falls panel a bit later on. And Alan Pardew, your commentary team, for that one this evening. Of course, you can get your calls into the sports bar after the first game. Will Gavin's alongside Carlton Cole for that at 10. So, it's lunch at the cricket, Andy, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it is.
When they're back out, we'll go back to Sam Ellard and we'll keep you in touch. They took a later lunch, 59 for 3. They trail by 179 at lunch.
Yeah, they're a long way behind in the game, aren't they?
Absolutely. Ben Jacobs joining us to look at some of the transfer stories of the day, and then we'll catch up with Rupert and Lizzie just ahead of our first race of the afternoon, which Quinny has just given us a little tip on. And don't forget that one in the Nunthorpe, Basio, he says. We'll see what Lizzie and Rupert make of that. But the news headlines are next.
To your left was in Seattle, Miami, Houston, LA. He was all over the place.
He was.
He is Danny Murphy, and he was magnificent, particularly when you consider that one comment during commentary, and he went viral.
He used to have a cat called Bob. The game's not that bad. Yeah, he jumped in the back of a Royal Mail van and we lost him.
We have a double substitution for Norway.
Sad, really.
Alexander
anyway.
Now, you were talking about Bob the cat. Yeah. Tell us about Bob the cat, because by God, everybody went crazy when they heard that.
Well, firstly, it's nice to be appreciated, isn't it, for the good analysis and all the hard work I'd done on the teams, the formations, the players, the hours of effort you dedicate to your job. No, it was just one of those things that the game wasn't very good. We were chatting away. Oscar Bob came off the bench and it just came out, and then it went on and on. The
Bob the
response.
cat. Why have you never shared this with me and Simon in the many hours that we share together?
Well, because I've got you two on a pedestal of being intellectual, sophisticated men. Well, at least one of you.
I was going to say.
So I didn't think that'd be a topic that you'd be interested in. But no, it was good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun. I think it's nice
I don't like cats.
Do you not? No, that doesn't surprise me. Why don't you like cats?
I've never liked cats. I like dogs.
You don't like people.
Here are some of the best sledges in Ashes history. Let's start in 1933, Douglas Jardine versus Yabba. Jardine, the notorious captain of the Bodyline series. Yabba, some bloke in the stands who became so famous he now has a statue at the SCG. When Jardine was swatting away flies on the boundary one day, Yabba yelled, "Oi, Jardine, leave our flies alone. They're the only friends you've got." Next, Warne versus Strauss in the Edgbaston Cauldron 2005. Strauss shouted, "Come on boys, he's struggling here," when Warne misjudged the delivery by Ashley Giles. Warne then told Strauss, "Say one more thing to me and I'll hit the next ball for 6. Strauss obliged and Warne walloped an enormous 6 over square leg. Night-night, Straussy. Bowler Jimmy Ormond dealt a stinger to Mark Waugh, brother of Steve, in 2001 when the Aussie all-rounder told him he was nowhere near good enough to play for his country. Ormond replied, "At least I'm the best cricketer in my family." Tough. Wicketkeeper Ian Healy issued one of the great lines after Steve Waugh told Ricky Ponting to field right under the nose of Nasser Hussain. Healy remarked, "That could be anywhere within a 3-mile radius." Poor Nas. And then there's Dennis Lilly on Geoffrey Boycott, who he beautifully described as a man who fell in love with himself at a young age and has remained faithful ever since.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Yeah, let's hear what Tyson Fury had to say that Emma gave you at the end of the bulletin there. He was on Instagram.
Whatever it was incredibly
Quick update for you. Doesn't look like they're going to sign the fight, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. All because Eddie Hearn and that want more money. They've already had that much money off of Turkey in the last few years, Eddie and AJ, yeah? They've had boxing deals, they've had darts deals, they've had snooker deals, they've had everything. And yet, they've got the audacity and cheek of flea-bitten rats to ask for more money from old Turkey. That's givious. Tell you what, it's disgusting. It is what it is. Same old cliche a decade later. Keep running, you little cowards.
You're boring. We're all bored with you.
so
We're bored with the fight.
tedious.
Is it
Yeah.
on? Isn't it on? Oh, seriously, just get it on. If you care about the legacy as much as you say you do, the pair of you, everybody involved just needs their heads knocking together. By the time you do it, you're about 75. Seriously. Anyway, on the subject of boxing, a huge night of World Championship boxing live on DAZN this Saturday. Rolly Romero defends his WABA See, they can have a fight. WABA welterweight world title against Teofimo Lopez. Looking to prove his win over Ryan Garcia was no one-off. Then next Saturday, I think one we're all looking forward to, Moses Talma, who'll be 50 by the time the other fight happens, can become Britain's youngest heavyweight world champion as he faces Filip Hrgovic for the vacant IBF heavyweight world title. Join DAZN Ultimate for 185 plus fights at a minimum of 12 pay-per-views every year, including Talma versus Hrgovic, Romero versus Lopez, and Garcia v. Ben, all included at no extra cost. Time then to look at transfers in the company of Ben Jacobs. Hello, Ben.
Good afternoon.
I was saying earlier on to Andy and the guys outside, I'm yet to be convinced as a Tottenham fan by Savinho. That's kind of, certainly at 85 million, maybe even at 45 million. I just have to trust the manager has spotted something I haven't. But I just don't think he's achieved enough in his shot. I mean, he's only 22. We should say that, and he's got time to develop clearly. But I mean, they've been chasing him for so long now. It looks like they've finally got their man. But what's your take on this deal?
Yeah, it's a huge deal in terms of price, but it's not actually that dissimilar from 12 months ago when Tottenham were prepared also to go over 70 million, 75 million, 10 million in add-ons. Manchester City view half of those add-ons as basically a lock, and therefore all parties are happy with this one. And remember, the intent of Tottenham is to get Omar Marmoush, and that deal is really close. I expect it to happen as well. And you're right in what you say. When you look at what they signed him for, coupled with the fact that I believe it was only one Premier League goal last season, there's not a lot of output there. But Ferran Soriano and the Manchester City board blocked this 12 months ago because they felt with the player's age and his high ceiling that it might be a bit like Cole Palmer. He could go somewhere else in the Premier League and set the world on fire. And that's the belief within Spurs, that this will be a very underrated, albeit now expensive signing, and somebody that can suddenly, with a bit of development, add goals output to their game. And if he does that, then it'll be money well spent.
Cole Palmer showed a lot more than Savinho has for City, I think, and for England as well. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, you've got to trust the manager. He's spotted a player there and he thinks he can develop him. I'm desperate to be proved wrong, obviously. Quick one on Marmoush while we're talking Spurs. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a double deal here, even though they'll be billed as separate deals. Of course, Savinho has got permission to formalise his move, and Marmoush is expected to be next. And my expectation is that this one will be a little bit cheaper for Tottenham Hotspur. I was under the impression that for both players, even though they're being negotiated separately, Manchester City would like £150 million. That's 85 for Savinho, if you include the add-ons, which would have Marmoush valued at somewhere around £65 million. They paid 59 for him, and Tottenham's intent is to maybe knock a few million off that. Doesn't make a great deal of difference from Manchester City's perspective, because if they sell at 60, they would pay virtually nothing in the sell-on to Frankfurt, and if they sell at 70, then the extra money would go to Frankfurt, and they still basically make 60, and that's why I think this won't be a particularly tough negotiation, and my expectation is that Marmoush will follow Savinho sooner rather than later.
They've sold Rangers and they've brought in a lot of money, and obviously they're going for Boadi, but I think they need to be careful with Chelsea with Fernandes. I think if they leave it too late, I think they will say no, Chelsea, because they will have no time to get anybody else in. I was surprised they didn't come back this week. I thought they might.
Yeah, outgoings though, remember, so we have to understand, first of all, are Manchester City going to add a Marmoush replacement and also try and fill the void left by Savinho? Certainly the latter, the former, is up for debate. You've got Alan at Palmeiras, and my expectation is that Manchester City make a formal bid in the coming days to test the resolve of a Palmeiras hierarchy that would rather sell in the winter, but I'm not so sure if a serious offer arrives that they're going to be able to keep hold of the player. So then the other money that's been brought in, if they focus only on a Savinho replacement to begin with, will be put into midfield. And when you add up Rodri, Barcelona, Tiani, Renders, Alcacer, Savinho to Tottenham Hotspur, Marmoush potentially to Spurs as well, you're in a position where City have brought in enough money to make an assault on Enzo Fernandez. They'll still have to decide if they want to do Boadi at the same time. No problem, I'm told, as far as negotiations club to club. It's really just whether City, if they think they can get Enzo Fernandez prioritise that first and then work out, have they got the funds to sign Boadi as well, who's also going to be roughly a Savinho type of financial outlay in and around the £85 million mark, or there's other more budget orientated options such as Manu Kone, for example. Alexis McAllister not going anywhere, but City appreciate him. And as we revealed on talkSPORT last week, Adam Wharton. But again, Palace don't want to sell. So for me, it's going to be 3 players coming into Manchester City minimum, 2 midfielders, 1 versatile attacker or winger. And now if Marmoush goes to Spurs as well, they'll have to decide if they've got the appetite and the finances to make it 4 through the door, which would be astonishing in these final days of the window.
Taylor Harwood-Bellis to Villa. Do you sense it will happen, but not at the first low ball offer of 18 million, obviously, which is less, I think, than Southampton paid for him?
Yeah, so the offer was £18 million, £2 million in add-ons, according to my information. So 20 million package, and Southampton would be looking for 30 million, and ideally 30 million fixed. And it will not be lost on them that Aston Villa have actually got a fair amount of money to spend. I know some of the sales were kind of down to the fact that there was book balancing at play, but once Morgan Rogers' money has come in, and now Villa have had a lot of other outgoings, and some of them surprise ones, there's money to spend. And given that Villa have brought in 51 million and 4 million for Ezri Konsa off to Arsenal, that move has now been formalised. Southampton are going to stick to their valuation here. Villa, of course, have looked at Tosin as well from Chelsea, a slightly more economical option. But my expectation is there'll be an improved bid for Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Tomori is another option too. And Villa are going to move quickly now to try and cover that void left by Ezri Konsa, a player they would have liked to keep, but ultimately the valuation and the deal suiting all parties. And actually that overall package leaning much closer to Villa's 60 million plus asking price as opposed to Arsenal's starting point, which was only 30 million. So Villa will feel financially, if not in football terms, that Konsa exit is a very good deal for them.
In the last hour, Fabian Herzler's been talking about Yakubu Minteh, and it was one of those classic diplomatic answers. We know in general all the players that there are rumours about are important players. They've been part of the journey here. It's normal that if a team's doing well, there'll be a big ask for their players. It's part of my job here, etc., etc. The situation will evolve, he says. I'm not here to complain. I'm here to find solutions. That would suggest that there's a pretty good chance if Liverpool get their offer right, he'll be off.
Yeah, I don't think in 15 years of covering transfers I've ever heard a football manager say, yes, we've had a bid, yes, the player is likely to go, because they're not transfer reporters, they're managers, and they have to speak of their players as their players until they're not their players. So very media-trained answer from Herzler, as you would expect. We trained him, remember, ourselves during the World Cup at talkSPORT, where he was brilliant for us. And ultimately the situation is that Carlos Baleba is expected to join Manchester United. Why? Because there's not a big gulf in valuation at the time I'm live, and the delay in some ways, if you want to call it that, is just Brighton had a game yesterday. So I'm not at all surprised that that deal isn't yet formal, but it could be the later today or over the course of the weekend. No urgency either, because Manchester United is not racing to get Baleba in their squad due to the fact that he's still injured for a couple of weeks. And the first offer, £60 million, £5 million in add-ons, not too far off what Brighton are looking for. And Manchester United feel that they can get this one over the line. Minter's a bit more complicated, I sense, even though Liverpool are not necessarily put off by a more long-term injury, but he's one of several options. So we know that Liverpool want to add 2 attackers, and if they do bring in 2 attackers, then it could be good news for Tottenham in a bid to get Gakpo. You can't get Gakpo today, but tomorrow or between now and when the window shuts, maybe if Liverpool sign 2. Top choice Bradley Barcola, talks ongoing, and then one more. And Minter's been a target for quite some time, £50 million bid rejected, but I don't sense it's definitively Minter, Barcola as 1 and 2, although the other way around, of course, Barcola the dream target. I think it's more Barcola 1, must get if they possibly can, and then there's 3 or 4 other options that Liverpool have inquired on and bid on, and now they're working with Antonio Riola to assess, is it worth going in for a second bid for Minter? And if they hit about £60 million, I think that would be a very difficult offer for Brighton to turn down.
Thank you, Ben, as always. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Ben Jacobs, our man on transfers there.
You can expect the market to heat up on Tuesday.
I think you certainly can.
Well, after that first weekend when you've lost.
Yeah.
Suddenly you think, oh dear.
Let's get some business done. The chairman gets a bit antsy. Yeah, well, that's all on talksport.com, of course. We're going to head to York races very shortly. The Ebor Festival, Rupert and Lizzie set the scene for our first race of the afternoon. We're here with Toolstation. Only got time for one stop. First stop, Toolstation.
Danny, when you look at it, United, in that fairly congested midfield area, say Baliba comes through the door, Tielemans is there, Santos, Mainu, Bruno Fernandes. Well, it's going to be a mighty old force in midfield, is it not?
It looks a very strong group of players, all giving little different parts of what you want. A far cry, really, from what we've seen over the last couple of years. United struggling in midfield areas. And I think we're talking about one of the biggest clubs in the world. They'll be looking to try and compete for the Premier League and the Champions League in the next couple of years. Of course they will. That's the aim of a club like Manchester United. So you need at least 5, when you think about it, in the middle of the park, who are going to be pushing each other, especially if they play a 3. You know, Bruno's probably the one standout, you say, in all the big games he's going to play.
Yeah.
He's got great durability anyway, and he's the match, the game changer, the match winner, the creative force, the goals. I would imagine for me, out of the others, I mean, Santos, Baliba, both young lads, both got more to come. Tielemans is more rounded, more ready to take that on. I think Tielemans.
Where's it leave Menu? A lot of people asking me to ask you that.
Well,
and what's your ideal starting 3?
I think that would depend a lot on where they're at when they come in and how they adapt to the pressure and expectation of being at Man United, because that's never easy. I think initially he might go Tielemans, Bruno and Mainu, because Mainu knows what the manager wants already. I think Baliba will become one of the main men.
This is literally Premier League football drama at its absolute best.
Oh
my Gabriel!
I can't watch this. Definitely saw it next.
Messi!
No!
Guys, come on! Get in it!
What was that?
You see this crap every single game in the Premier League.
Oh, this is
no goal.
No.
That was embarrassing.
It's Hawksbee Jacobs. It's time to head to York Racecourse for the first race of the afternoon at the Ebor Festival. Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly once again are on commentary duty. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you sounded remarkably
very
fresh
coordinated
after the end of season party. Any scandal? Any war stories from anybody disgraced themselves, Lizzie?
It was so much fun. Honestly, we had an absolute ball. I think we did clear the restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were quite rowdy, and we had a lovely waiter who was really into his racing, wasn't he?
Chris. Yeah, he only started, he watched a race early in the season. He said, I like this sport, and he started coming out with tips last night.
Oh, wow. Did you come up
Chris,
with a tip? I'd like to think you did as well.
Well, he did a runner when I came out with a tip. But we had Tony McCormick, who's a regular feature on talkSPORT 2's coverage. and he likes peas pudding, which is the most disgusting thing
I used to like that as a
I thought that was a horse.
Yeah. Andy's put a fiver each way on it.
Well,
no,
anyway,
I've not had that for years, the peas pudding. I didn't know it was still around.
Not a good thing.
Anyway, Quinny joined us earlier on, flat trainer, of course, as well as Coventry hat-trick hero. Blue Courvoisier each way, he quite fancied. Lizzie, would you put us off?
No, because I think this is quite an open race. I quite like Exclusive Code as a big each way choice. He was very good when he won at Goodwood. And I think that actually he'll do even better at York because they quite like a front runner at York. Zenna Storm is our favourite and was only just beaten by Exclusive Code at Goodwood. So there's a big difference in the two prices there.
What about you, Rupert, in this one?
I'm going for Outback Heat. I should also say there's been a huge gamble on Intense Vision, who's been backed in from some pretty punchy prices early in the day into around about 15-2. So maybe a gamble could be being attempted to be landed there, as one reluctant to go in at the moment is Jadal. But the favourite's coming through nicely enough. But it's a very opening, competitive little race. I don't think there's many more to go in, actually. Looking
Just one more,
down
Rupert,
at
isn't there?
Yep, and that is Outback Heat, my selection. Please go in.
Might save your blushes if he doesn't.
Yeah.
It was such fun.
He seems quite happy
such fun
now.
last night.
Yeah.
Well, Outback Heat has come in. So I think they're all set for day 3 of the York E-ball meeting. This handicap over a mile and going into an early lead. Eclair is right up there. Also right up there is Intense Vision, has got into a very prominent position. Another one in a forward position is Blue Courvoisier. Also taking a keen hold is Bearish, distant about 5th spot. On the outside of that one is Krasimir. Oh, and stumbling there as he Command the Stars nearly stumbled and lost his jockey. Dara Keenan did well to regroup and settle back into the race. But as they make the turn into the straight, it is Blue Courvoisier who is leading. From on the outside, Nolene Star forward, Intense Vision. On the inside of that one is Bearish sitting in 4th. Looking towards the rear of the field, it's Astrazar is right at the back, and another one towards the rear is St. Anton. And Daydreamer is another one that's towards the rear. But they come into the straight now, and still leading is Blue Courvoisier. Then it is Nolene Star, Intense Vision on the outside, and Krasimir. That's the leading 4. Also trying to get into the mix is Zenor Storm, who's sitting in about 5th spot. Coming wide on the outside is Welbury trying to get into the mix, and another one trying to get into the mix is Storming Point. Coming under a bit of pressure is Intense Vision, but is still just out in front of Blue Courvoisier. On this near side, Krasimir's running a big race. There's plenty in with chances. Here's getting messy in behind for Exclusive Code, who got squeezed up as they come down this near side. And Eklem has now suddenly sprouted wings and is coming on the outside. Blue Courvoisier still trying to hold on, but it's Eklem who seems to have got the advantage, although Blue Courvoisier is rallying bravely and has extended into the lead. And has gone into the lead by a length and a half. Blue Courvoisier from Eklem, and that is the 1-2. And I think in 4th, 3rd may have been Outback Heat running on, but Blue Courvoisier, really gutsy out in front, has held on for victory.
Yeah, fantastic ride from Ross Orion, who really wanted to make sure that he took this race by the scruff of the neck and has very much done so. Very few of them were able to reel him obviously back in. Eklem was the horse who was doing the best work from further back, but a fantastic performance from our winner, 13-2, so decent value as well.
So Blue Courvoisier takes our first race and does it in good fashion. Just waiting for the minors. Intense Heat, Outback Heat might have been 3rd, and Krasimir may have been the other one. So a battle for the 3rd spot. But in the end, Blue Courvoisier showed great resolution to take our first race.
Well done to Mickey Quinn, who I'm sure a few of the listeners would have got on that. I think maybe it's a good omen for Coventry tonight. So yeah, well done, Quinny. I'm sure he's still listening on his way up to Cov. Next race up, I think the listeners like to maybe have a little bit of time to hear your tips, Rupert and Lizzie. So 225. What are we fancying here?
I think this is a really competitive race. We've got Caballo de Mer, who's very, very solid in this sphere. I think he's the favourite. He was when I last looked. He's 1-2 Group 1, so I think this is a really winnable race for him. I quite like Illinois. He's proven time and time again last season that he was more than capable. He was trailing, well, he was coming in second behind horses like Trawlerman and Scandinavia, but I think that he's quite interesting in this today.
And what about you, Ruth?
Well, I do like Caballero de Mar, but I've gone for a bit of value in Al Nair, William Buick's man for Tom Clover. I think there's been a bit of money for this horse lurking around, but Al Nair found it a bit too difficult recently in the Gold Cup, but this is over a shorter trip, so I think the shorter trip will suit Tom Clover's horse Al Nair in the Lonsdale Cup.
Has Neil Phillips, the wine tipster, been up with his pies and his wine yet, guys?
Yeah, we've had quite a lot of these pies. And,
you're going to need a kip this afternoon, aren't you?
And more have arrived. They're very good. They are genuinely.
There was a haggis pie.
Oh,
What?
nice. Yeah.
He brought, oh no, black pudding pie.
Oh, okay.
Black pudding pie.
Big difference.
A
yeah.
black pudding pie.
Okay.
And a chilli pie.
A chilli pie and a pork pie. But it's the pastry of Jeb's pies, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Jed Bell. 'Cause
Jed Bell's
we always
pies.
remember that he's the same as you.
Rupert.
Another Bell.
Yeah, another bell, yeah. Yeah. We won't dwell on that.
It's not very nice, is it?
Well, Rupert, she was so nice to you last night. Now she's back on air. She's turned on you again.
Yeah, she was quite cheery last night. But
Yeah.
anyway, these pies are particularly good. It's the pastry that sets them apart.
Oh, nice.
And Lizzie's going back with a bucket load in her car tonight.
Yeah, I brought some cash so I can buy some pies to take home with me.
Nice one.
If you're on the motorway at a service station and you get hungry, maybe she'll do a quick deal for some of Jet Bell's pies.
Flag Lizzie down. That's it. Okay, guys, back to you later. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly. 2:25 is our next race, the Lonsdale Cup.
Got a fiver on there, and I ignored Quinny and went with.
Oh, did you?
Big mistake.
I just had a little bite, a bit of, I just did a bit of 250 each way. Please gamble responsibly. It was good old Mick. I thought I'd trust him. He's a man who certainly knows his flat.
I backed his next tip, so that'll probably lose.
Now, you can watch every race from the York Ebor Festival only on Racing TV. For this week only, talkSPORT listeners can join Racing TV for just £5 per month for 10 months. 12-month minimum terms apply. Head to racingtv.com/Ebor offer now. For full details, we get the sports headlines next. Stan Collymore is going to join us, looking at some of the teams and how they're going to fare this Premier League season. Graham Scott will be joining us, former Premier League referee, to talk about the Ona Hegba retrospective red for that handball for the Baggies. And Daniel Fisichella looks ahead to the Serie A season in Italy with quite a few familiar faces in there from the Premier League. That's all to come.
For the record, we've had 7 different Premier League winners.
Over 33 years, over 34 years.
But this time,
wow.
But this time, Simon, do you not agree that this is probably the most competitive ever Premier League season on the horizon?
For participation, not for winning. You're going to be one of the 4 clubs that has the biggest turnovers is going to win the league. Aston Villa are not going to win the league. Newcastle are not going to win the league.
So how do you explain Leicester when they did it?
A rare and absolute anomaly that was never allowed to happen again, because all the big clubs sat on their hands, suddenly decided that they could all do things in a certain way, and they got caught with their pants down, even to the way that they allowed Leicester to play. Everybody knew how Leicester played. Drinkwater gets the ball, looks up, knocks it long for Vardy, and yet on the last game of the season they were doing the same thing, and teams were still playing the same way against them. So don't ask me how I explain that situation, but it's not going to be repeated, and it hasn't been repeated since, and that was now a decade ago. So who's won the league since then, and who won the league prior to that?
So tell me straight, how many teams this time around do you feel can aspire to win the Premier League?
2, 3. But that doesn't mean the league's not competitive. The argument, why would you suggest that governance needs to be brought in to the most successful league that has been the commercially most successful league in the history of football? Why are you regulating it? What are you regulating it from? I understand what he's saying is that the Premier League clubs want some degree of control. They want governance. Yeah, they want good disciplines. They want good governance. They want good regulation. Is your regulation with the consequences of the way that clubs are suing one another now, the way that they're suing, the way that Man City have been hauled over the coals and been sat in abeyance for 2 years because you can't prosecute them properly, is that good governance and good regulation? Because to me, it doesn't look like it.
Yes, Stan Collymore joining us a little bit later on. We've got the clips of the week, don't forget, in the final hour, and lots more live racing throughout the show. But Tom Clayton's here with the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update with NordVPN, our fastest, most advanced VPN for digital privacy and security.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Tyson Fury says he doesn't think his blockbuster fight with AJ will go ahead because AJ's camp is asking for more money. Fury's gone on a scathing rant with personal attacks on AJ and Eddie Hearn's integrity, all while on the treadmill in the gym.
They've had boxing deals, they've had darts deals, they've had snooker deals, they've had everything. And yet, they've got the audacity and cheek of flea-bitten rats to ask for more money from old Turkey.
You can get more on that at talksport.com. Elsewhere, Savinho to Tottenham is a done deal, we believe, for £85 million. Talks continue over a move for Omar Marmoush too. Meanwhile, Axel Disasi is said to be having a medical at Crystal Palace ahead of a move from Chelsea. And Andoni Iraola says Liverpool will remain open-minded for the rest of the transfer window. He's also reiterated their need to bring in more wingers. Elsewhere today, more than 500 former rugby players have been given the green light to continue legal action over brain injuries. A High Court judge has rejected governing body's claims that it should be thrown out because key medical evidence has not been disclosed. And they're back out at Headingley for the afternoon session. Pakistan have work to do. England very much on top. Sam Ellard.
64 for 3 of Pakistan to England, searching for 7 more wickets to win this test match. Pakistan trailing by 174 runs in the morning session. England were bowled out for over 400 runs, 409. They did pick up 3 wickets before lunch. Jofra Archer struck early, and then Ollie Robinson got Abdullah Shafiq for 15. Shafiq was Pakistan's best batter in the first innings. Archer and Tongue starting for England in the afternoon session. Pakistan in big trouble at 64 for 3.
talkSPORT News.
Meghan Markle could return to acting once back in the UK, and a banned driver has been jailed for more than 13 years for running over a great-grandfather. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Sort your new tyres this summer at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Showers, but less widespread than yesterday. Some thunder possible, especially in the south and west. Temperatures just below normal, but warmer in the southeast.
The 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army.
Now listen up, this is an amazing prize. A trip down under has just landed. Imagine being in Melbourne next March, watching England take on Australia at the 150th test match completely on us. Thanks to Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army, you and a mate could win the ultimate 7-night all-inclusive trip to Melbourne. We're talking return flights, match tickets for all 5 days, an exclusive function with cricket legends, a tour of the Great Ocean Road, and spending money in your pocket. Andy, how'd you win all that?
Yeah, it's one of our best. For your chance to win, visit talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338 by 6 p.m. on the 1st of September 2026. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or send your name and number by post to Comp2 PO Box 3190 Colchester CO2 8GP to arrive by midnight on the 4th of September 2026. 18 plus, UK residents only. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 right now. It's a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com.
We will hear from some of the gaffers a little bit later on ahead of the weekend's games. Roberto De Zerbi has just been chatting to the press. Tottenham had not named their captain until about 10 minutes ago, and it is Mickey van der Ven. He says the new captain is Mickey van der Ven, the second Pedro Porro, the third Ben Davis, the fourth James Maddison, who was many people's favourite, and the fifth Archie Gray. They all deserve to be captains and in the group of captains, he says. He also says Van der Ven and Porro will miss tomorrow's game against Brentford at 5:30. Sarr won't be involved, but could be involved. But Solanke, Maddison, Udogie and Fernandes all in the squad. Actually, I think Kudus could be another week.
Yeah, it's a tough place to start.
Yeah, it is.
It won't be easy, that game.
It feels like a draw. It's
Yeah,
got that
well,
sort of vibe.
it was 2-2 the last time the first game of the season was there, wasn't it? So
We get underway tonight, of course, at the Emirates for Arsenal Coventry, and we'll also
that
bring.
won't be a draw.
No, we'll bring you tomorrow. Come on, Andy, give them a chance. We'll bring you. Arsenal can do it. I'm sure they can get a point out of it. And we'll also bring you Hull City versus Manchester United tomorrow. Stan Collymore joining us a little bit later on. But of course, one of the interesting stories overnight has been Orna Hegeba, the fine West Brom striker, getting a retrospective 2-game ban for a handball goal. I think most people by now, talkSPORT listeners, have seen the moment. The ball is swung in. There is a slight deflection, it seems, off the goalkeeper, and an arm goes towards the ball. The player argued that he'd not done it deliberately, but that was rejected, and so he will serve a 2-game ban. It was interesting looking at the reaction to it on social media and the very different schools of thought.
Yeah.
We disagree slightly. We thought it'd be interesting to get a referee's take on it, because a lot of people were on there saying, officials mess up and player suffers the consequences was the
that's what
thrust.
I felt about it. I mean, what player in history would? There's been few occasions. To Canio, I think Robbie Fowler tried to do. Very few times do players try and correct the referee's mistake on the pitch, and even when they do, the referee doesn't normally take any notice of them anyway.
Let's have a chat with Graham Scott, former Premier League referee and athletic refereeing correspondent. Hi, Graham.
Good afternoon. Great to be back.
What about that argument then? Officials mess up, player suffers consequences.
I don't think it's particularly strong. For starters, the referees do suffer some consequences when they make mistakes. They usually miss a week or two, and their pay systems are all linked to bonuses around getting these decisions right. So they financially will, you can see it either way. They don't get as much, or they kind of suffer. And all the refs are desperately trying to get these decisions right. This one is actually much harder to see in real time and than it is in the replay. As soon as you see a still image on a replay, you think, how's he missed that? But I've got some understand. I certainly would have made similar mistakes. There was a handball in that very goal mouth in the Premier League one year, which I didn't spot. So, it does happen. I'm very torn on this. I do feel that, in this particular case, my sense was that there was a little deflection, and the player had his arm there kind of almost in a natural place, given that he was lifting his knee to try to score, and it does hit his arm rather than him batting the ball in. That said, he does wheel away and celebrate as if, I've done nothing wrong here, and it doesn't matter that it's accidental, and it's on him to know that. I do find it, I'm sure he does actually know the rule, but if he doesn't, how on earth does he not know that you can't score with your arm? But
would you ask the player, Graham, if you've seen the reaction of all the Norwich players, they go up, and you'd probably know as an official, blimey, that's probably a handball, but what can I do about it now? I've got no VAR, I can't go back and look at it. Would you say to the player, did you handball that?
No, I think if you're really smart as a ref, with handball, players cannot engineer that appeal. It's not confected. If 5,000 people behind that goal all shout handball simultaneously, it's hit his arm. There's no way that can just kind of be laid there with a tannoy or something. So you can put 2 and 2 together very quickly and get 4. There's a risk in it, but I have done that where I thought that I think it's possibly his arm, and everyone's telling me it has. So I'm just going to disallow this goal. So. And that's, I think, is reasonable. That's not guessing, that's deducing that it must have done. And possibly the referee here might have thought quicker on his feet. But again, that's very harsh of me to start criticising the ref. The player's done what he's done and deserves some consequences for that. Whether a retrospective ban is the answer, I'm not so sure. It works for me if it stops players doing it in the first place. If they do actually just go, there's no point me celebrating this. If this happened in the Premier League, I think a player wouldn't even bother trying to celebrate. No. They know full well the VAR are going to spot it, even if the referee doesn't give it. They just kind of go, no, never mind. Here, clearly, he's having everyone on, and I do feel as if that deserves some sanction. Whether a two-match ban does it, we'll have to see. Do other players now do actually stop when that happens and just go, no, this is not a goal, it's hit my arm, and the referee would then, I think, take their word for it. It's slightly different to the foul. I mean, the fact that we can only remember 2 or 3 examples between us for many, many years kind of says it all. But I think the Fowler one, I'm surprised in a way the referee didn't accept that, his word for it in those circumstances. But will it stop it? Will it work as a deterrent? And I'm not sure, because you put that in match round 46 in the Championship, and it's the difference between being in the playoffs or being automatically promoted or avoiding relegation. You'll take the 2-match ban every time. So I'm not entirely convinced it'll work, but it is at least an attempt to say to the game, look, this isn't right. And as authorities, we are going to try and at least try something to stop it, rather like quite a bit of success around diving. There is less really terrible, obvious diving than there used to be, because players who win the penalty get banned afterwards. So it still goes on, of course, but it's not quite as bad as it used to be.
If he'd admitted it, he would have got a FIFA Fair Play Award. Everybody would have said he was a hero and all that. But his manager would have gone mad with him. And said, look, we're trying to win a game of football. What are you doing? I mean, I do feel for him.
I mean, Andy made the point, you think it maybe potentially opens a can of worms. How far do you go back? I mean, even in the FA judgment, it says it directly leading to a goal. And I think that's key. So you can't say if there was a throw-in or a corner that shouldn't have been given.
We claim a corner, it isn't the goal score from the corner.
But there's kind of there's a phase of play beyond that, isn't there? A difference in being right in front of goal where the goalie can't get it and no defending player. I kind of use the cricket analogy to Andy of when an umpire says to a fielder, did that carry? You ask, or a batsman does sometimes. Andy
They don't take the fielder's word for it, though. They don't.
They tend not to. But there is a process in cricket.
They used
there isn't
to
in football.
They don't. Now.
Yeah, no.
And now it's.
Well, they have technology generally in most games.
But that's the one thing technology doesn't really work for.
No,
it doesn't work in cricket. So carrying catches doesn't work.
I mean, if you don't want to be the next Hegover, if you're playing in a game tomorrow, from Millwall, for example, and you stick out and you're thinking, I don't want a 2-game ban for that. I'd only get a yellow card if it was actually spotted. So maybe it will act as a deterrent. But you say you're not sure, Graham.
I'm not. Well, I'm not sure because I'm genuinely not sure. I'm not saying, I don't this more. I'm not sure. I really don't know. None of us know.
No, exactly.
Don't put it on your. You've done this before to me. You put it on your social media.
I'll make sure we qualify.
Yeah, can you make
exactly
sure?
That?
It's our social media department.
The other thing is,
different people.
Yeah, I'm not altogether sure it would have got the traction it had we been 4 or 5 weeks into the season and the Premier League was underway. I think the fact it was really the only show in town, south of the border, I think it got a lot more eyes on it than it might have done. Maybe that's put the FA under a bit more pressure.
Possibly. The cricket analogy is interesting, though, isn't it? I mean, big story earlier in the summer about the slip fielder clicking his fingers to get a player given out caught. All of the opprobrium, all the abuse was aimed at the player for doing it. No one was saying, the umpire, what's the umpire doing here? How's he fallen for this? We all, in cricket, we go to the player and go, what are you doing here, mate? You're cheating.
Yeah.
The sandpaper game in cricket was the players cheating. It wasn't, why didn't the officials spot it? And football does have this strange culture. And the thing that annoyed me over the weekend were the headlines that said, the officials have missed it. Well, that is part of the story. And you'd want them to see it, and the very top referees would and should. But nonetheless, I'm glad in a way the debate has moved on to the actions of the actual player here, because that is something football does have a problem with attracting people to it, to watch it, who watch other sports and think they're morally superior. Rugby union being the classic example, but they they all respect the refs in that. I'm not so sure it's really quite as sanitized as people think. But football does have a cultural problem around always looking to blame the officials rather than blaming the players. I've no problem with the officials taking the rap when it is our fault. When we make a mistake, we should be held accountable, and that should be very clear and open. But here, that's not the only thing that's happened here. A player has known he's got no full. It's not like, well, I'm not sure I've nicked the ball to the keeper. No, this has definitely hit your arm, mate. There's a big red mark on your forearm. What's that come from? So it's very clearly should have been a disallowed goal, and he shouldn't be wheeling away celebrating. And oh no, look what I've just done.
He didn't even say the Baggies when they filmed it. They got right in the corner. They put it out on their social media, and you can hear the players talking. And I think one of them saying, "I told you," almost like I told you to get in that position to attack that space. He didn't say, "Blimey, I've punched it in." I don't know, Graham. We got to leave it there. Pleasure as always.
No
have a good weekend. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
You can't compare umpires in 4th Division League cricket to Premier League or Championship officials. I used to umpire in 4th Division. I was terrible.
Yeah, you were a cheat as well. More on that later. There's been a couple of wickets at Headingley. We'll cross to Sam Ellard. Sam can tell us now. Sam, a man who never cheats at cricket, Sam Ellard.
No, never. Wouldn't be me. And no cheating needed for England in this Test match, because this is as comfortable as it's going to get for England. 73 for 5 now, so 2 quick wickets for England after lunch. The 4th wicket, an absolute gift for England, and more poor batting from Pakistan. It's Saud Shakil going for 14. Josh Tongue, the bowler, an over-pitch ball on the toes of the batter, clipped loosely to backward square. Dan Lawrence taking a good catch, but really loose Pakistan batting once again. And then Tongue in his next over going around the wicket to Shah Masood, a wider ball, and Masood just pushing at the ball way outside his off stump, outside edge, and Duckett takes the catch out first slip. And I reckon, boys, possibly with just 5 wickets needed for England, we might get a result today, and possibly in this show. Pakistan 73 for 5, trailing by 165 runs.
Thank you, Sam. They're going to take a slightly later tea, so that is very true.
It's good for Tongue to get a left-hander. He's got a terrible difference between bowling to right-handers and bowling to left-handers. He hardly ever gets them out, and his average against right-handers is much lower than his average against left, but he got one.
So that's good news.
Good news for him.
It's Hawksbee and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Stan Collingwood joining us. We've got the Falls panel: Arsenal, Coventry, Hull, Manchester United, Newcastle, Liverpool. 03717 223344. Take us on. Joe Shannon and Stan in the Falls panel that returns this afternoon. We'll need you for 10 minutes at 2:45. 03717 223344. As always, we're here with Toolstation, open from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Grab what you need, get on site, get it done. First stop, Toolstation.
We're due to talk about Spurs now. O'Hara was meant to be here, Jason Cundy, but apparently he's bottled his chance to plug your show. What? If you're not watching but listening, you've put on a Jamie O'Hara mask. Is that a new thing? I mean, that's quite horrific.
I don't know what it looks like. How does it look?
What do you think it looks like?
No, I can't see myself. Does it look like O'Hara?
Have a look at the monitor.
Every time I do that, I turn away.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it looks ghastly, and I never
terrible,
use that word. Yeah. Have you put it on before?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I've worn it before.
It's
so
vile.
Weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. So do you want to pretend he's here?
I can pretend he's here.
Okay. Let's
Shambles! Shambles!
Good team. Why is he not here? I heard he stormed out the studio again yesterday.
Last night, honestly.
Soon it's going to be more of a shock if he's
I talk about Spurs.
Take the mask off, for God's sake. Yeah.
Honestly, when we talk...
Oh, put it back, put it back.
Put it on. I love getting into him about Spurs. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And he was saying if they buy Savinho and Mamouche, they're guaranteed top 4, top 2. And I'm like, come on, mate, come on. The Ange mask will come out, and it just grew legs and arms. The thing, and it exploded.
You got many more masks?
No, yeah, we've got Benty mask.
Have you?
No, you don't. No.
Don't wear him in a bank.
Do you know what happened though? Here's what happened with the Ange mask. We bought it last season when he took over at Forest, and we ordered it from I think South America. By the time the mask turned up, he'd been sacked.
Premier League football drama at its absolute best.
Oh
my Gabriel!
I can't watch this.
He's definitely saw it next.
Messi!
No.
Yes! Come on! Get in it!
What was that?
You see this crap every single game in the Premier League.
Oh, this is
No goal.
That was embarrassing.
Well, Sam Allard was telling us earlier on this could well be over in the duration of our show. We can head back there because England have claimed another wicket against Pakistan, Sam.
Yeah, it might be over by 3 o'clock at this rate. Yeah, 3 wickets for Josh Tongue after lunch. He's got 2 in this over. Pakistan now 76 for 6. He's having some match. He got 5 in the first innings. He's got 3 in this innings. And it's an absolute C to get Salman, the Pakistan captain. It's a full ball angling into the right-hander. There's movement off the pitch, hits him on the pad, and the ball is crashing into leg stump. So Salman goes for 4. Tongue has got 3. Pakistan 76 for 6, now trailing by 162.
Thanks very much, Sam. Yeah, it was another good ball by Tongue, wasn't it, Andy? Yeah.
He's bowling well.
Yeah.
But we saw in the New Zealand series, New Zealand lost the first game and England played well.
Yeah.
And they came back really strong, so I wouldn't write them off completely. It's been a lot.
Your spell, you talking about umpiring at club level. There was one where you did saw a bloke off, didn't you? And you knew you'd done it, so you put it right with a later decision. You did a make-up decision.
I did a make-up decision,
which was never out, was it?
One of my best ones was when I gave our skipper out at LBW. And he just walked out showing me the bat. He'd obviously hit it.
It's not easy being a referee or an umpire.
No, it's not.
Cut them a bit more slack.
Especially if you've got eyesight like mine.
It's not easy being. It's not easy calling a race, of course, especially when there's a big field. I don't know if that's the case in our next race this afternoon, live from York, the Lonsdale Cup Stakes. Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly are on hand. Has this one stretched you, Rupert, or is it quite a comfortable field, this one?
8, so I feel less stressed, and it's over 2 miles, so I can hand over a lot of it to Lizzie because I can give her plenty of chance so I can work out who is where. But it's a 2-mile race. It's it's called the Lonsdale Cup. It's a staying race, and they basically start more or less in front of the grandstands and they loop on round because 20 odd years ago they staged a royal meeting here and they had to then make it it wasn't basically a course that you could run round completely round, so they had to make a new course so that they could run races like this because the maximum race distance used to be 1 mile 6. Did you know that, Lizzie?
I didn't know that.
Wow,
there you go.
A mine of information.
I've got some uses.
We've got the encyclopedia. It's just because you're so old, you've seen it all.
Well, well, there we go. Thank you, Lizzie. You're right, mate. You're right.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Lizzie, just remind us who you fancy for this race.
Caballo de Mare, he's been really, really solid. At this sort of level, he's won 2 Group 1s previously. He's not won a Group 1 in this country, so it'd be good to see him win obviously a Group 2 here today. And I also like Illinois, who's not doing the donkey work for anyone else today, so I'd like to hope that he can run on his own merits.
And you, Rupert? Are they nearly ready to go? Sorry.
Al Nair is who I'm going for each way, I think, can get into the first 3. But I think they're nearly set. for this race over an extended 2 miles, starting more or less in front of the grandstands here. They're off and running. Pretty level break. Quickthorn, who likes to front run and actually has won this race back in 2002 and won it by a huge distance. And not surprisingly, Quickthorn, who hasn't been on a race course for over 707 days, is leading by a length from Illinois, Caballo de Mar. Then it is Amelot, who sits in fourth. On the inside of that one is Columbus as they go past the winning post, and then we'll take the left-hand turn to go out into the country. Then next up is Al Nair, French Master, and the back marker is Mount Atlas as they make the turn to go round to the back straight. Quickthorn is with Tom Marquand on board, not surprisingly, for leading by a length from Illinois and Caballo de Mar, just tracking the leader on the inside. Then there's a length gap back to Amelot. And on the inside is the Colin Keane-ridden Columbus, trained by Willie Mullins. Actually was winning a hurdle race at the Galway Festival at the end of July. And Willie Mullins loves to come over to York to try and secure a big prize. But it is Quickthorn as they go into the back straight. Pretty steady pace at the moment, Lizzie.
Yeah, everyone's settled really nicely into a nice rhythm. Illinois is perfectly poised to jump if need be. I think also Caballo de Mar has just come off that rail there to give himself a little bit more room.
Yeah, he was outpointed in the Ascot Gold Cup in that epic duel between Trawlerman and Scandinavia, but Caballo de Mar lost nothing in defeat, but just perhaps didn't stay the 2 mile 4 of that day. They're stretching out a little bit now as Quickthorn and Tom Marquand inject a little bit of pace as they continue down the back straight, and will be making the long sweeping turn into the home straight. They've got about a mile to go now, and Quickthorn leads by a couple of lengths from Illinois, and then there's another couple of lengths back to the favourite Caballo de Mar, and another couple of lengths back to the fourth horse Amelot, and another couple of lengths back to the next horse, who is Columbus, and then the others are more tightly bunched towards the rear, with Mount Atlas still the back marker. But Quickthorn is still bowling along in front by that couple of lengths, being tracked by Illinois in his slipstream, and then there's a little gap back to Caballo de Mar, who again is in the slipstream of Illinois. But definitely a steady pace, but Quickthorn is still out in front, likes to front run, but it will be amazing a training achievement should he win. But he's extended the lead a bit there, Lizzie.
Yeah, he's just beginning to pour on the pressure a little bit, and you're just waiting for Illinois to be able to answer that. We know that he's a horse who can accelerate, so it'll be interesting to see what happens from here.
And Caballo de Mar is looking also to quicken up, and Mount Atlas is starting to get into the proceedings as well, as is Amelot, and coming under pressure is Al Nair. But Quickthorn leads now still by a couple of lengths from Illinois. Caballo de Mar and Mount Atlas starting to quicken up, and Caballo de Mar is challenging on the outside of Illinois, and Quickthorn is coming under a bit of a pressure, but cruising at the moment is the Andrew Balding trained Mount Atlas, and PJ McDonald hasn't said go yet. Caballo de Mar is being driven hard by Oisin Murphy. Al Nair trying to pick up. Illinois still right in the mix as well, but Mount Atlas now is coming under pressure. Caballo de Mar is looking resolute. Al Nair coming up on the far side, flying, but at the moment Caballo de Mar just might have it as a line of three. Here comes Al Nair on the far side, Illinois, but Al Nair is getting up. Al Nair is going to snatch it on the line from William Buick. Al Nair wins from Illinois. Mount Atlas in third, looked to be cruising but couldn't find a change of gear, and as they come past the line, the back marker Columbus, but Al Nair picked up well there for William Buick, coming on the far side, Illinois, and winning by about a length.
Yeah, fantastic ride from William Buick. Well done, Rupert. A nice tip there at 9-1. But he was the last on the scene, and he was able to come with such a quick run that the others had all battled it out and used up plenty of gas in doing so, and he was able to just come and swoop in at the last moment.
Yeah, on the far side, Illinois in second, and Mount Atlas, I have to say, looked to be cruising, but actually then just bottomed out as Al Nair picked them off one by one to come home that winner, with Illinois in second. So 9-1. Wow, that's a surprise.
You two are on form this
time. Well, no, the tipsters competition being led by Mickey Quinn and Rupert Bell, so Lizzie's going to have to pull a finger out. So back to you at 3 o'clock. Yes, well done, guys. Thanks a lot. That's the gym crack at 3 o'clock, and then the Jumpmont, the big feature race at 3:35. Two more commentaries still to come. Stan Collymore joins us straight after the news headlines as we build up the start of the season. We'll have a Falls panel as well. Don't forget our first live game of the season tonight at the Emirates, Arsenal versus Coventry.
You finished 9th.
Yep.
You come on talkSPORT and said that Chelsea are going to win the league.
Yep.
Who's the idiot?
We've got a manager that knows how to win a league.
No. Who's the idiot?
Won the Bundesliga.
I don't care. Who's the idiot?
What's the Spursy one? What's the Spursy ever won?
They finished 10th. Sorry.
10th.
Correction.
Oh, no.
You finished 10th.
You'll take her place.
Mate, you finished 10th.
You'll take her place.
All right? And you come on talkSPORT and said that you're going to win the league.
You'll take her.
I don't think I'm an idiot in saying that Spurs can finish in the top 4 if we sign for Savinho and Marmoush.
You'll take her place.
So,
Roberto De Spursy.
there's only one mug here, and it's you.
Roberto De Spursy, he'll take 10th, mate. That's a good season for you lot. Mate, you take that. Jay.
Don't
100%.
Don't Jay me. Don't Jay me. All right? Don't Jay me.
Jay, 100% you take 10th. I'll give you 10th now. With 10 games to go 10th, so you've not got to sweat like you did last season. Sweating over the last couple of games. Are we going to go down? Oh, no. I'll go down.
Mate, you finished 10th.
Yeah, I know we did.
You literally finished 10th.
Yeah, but we've got a manager that knows how to win a league.
That's almost like you spent £1 billion on a football team and finished 10th.
Another billion.
Right, who's more embarrassing?
And we're going to win it.
Who's more embarrassing?
Do you know what we should do? We should go for Savinho and Marmoush. Then we'll definitely win it. Put that in the Todd.
keep.
What do you mean? Don't start getting.
No,
don't.
I really want to swear at you, but I'm not going to. Right?
Don't, Jay. Take. I'll give you. Okay, here we go. 10th. Yes or no? Yes or no? Jay. Yes or no? Take 10th. He's going to take 10th. He's wrong with that. You got to take 10th.
The kit man, one of the most important cogs in a football club's machine. But it's not just laundry and hanging up shirts in dressing rooms. Oh no, it's hours of dedication and a real love of the game. Every club does it slightly differently, but ultimately the kit man's the guy washing the training gear, repairing holes, cleaning boots, and that's before they even think about the match day. The day before a home game, a kit man will already be at the stadium making sure the kit is ready to be laid out, and if anything needs doing in terms of printing, stitching, cleaning, it gets done. On the day, the kit men are almost the first ones there in the morning. They're unloading kit from the training ground, medical bags, anything else a player or a coach may need between their arrival and full time. Once things are in full swing, they actually help with the warm-up too. When the whistle goes and the match kicks off, it's the one time a kit man can put his feet up. At full time, if they're at home, it's easy. All the kit goes in the washing machines, dries, and is ready for use within the next 24 hours. Away from home, it's a different story though. If you're a kit man for Spurs, for example, you can't exactly use the machines at St James's Park. So it's back into the van, or onto the chartered flight, back to the training ground, wash everything there, and be ready to go again for the next game. Some might have to go to Europe a day later, so the pressure is definitely on. Working for a football club might look glamorous on the face of it, but we salute those who dedicate their lives to scraping mud off boots and washing a millionaire's underpants.
Hawksbee and Jacobs here on talkSPORT every Friday. Stan Collymore joins us, former Liverpool Villa striker, to look ahead to the weekend's football, look at all the big talking points. Here we are on the eve of the season. We've got the Falls panel to come shortly, but good afternoon, Stan.
Happy new season, Paul and Andy. Are you excited? Your two mega Bucks teams throwing out the checkbook again?
A mate of
Player
mine,
trading, I think you'll find it is.
yes, a mate of mine has just sent me a message that says Spurs have essentially walked into TK Maxx and paid the original label price for everything.
It's a great.
You've got to laugh or else you cry. It's not my money. I've got
That's always the point. It's not our money.
No. Bit of news on the Villa front. It seems that Villa are making headway for Taylor Harwood-Bellis, we spoke about earlier on, I guess for Conser, and Nicholas Jackson. We were both saying off air, Stan, we felt Emery was a good fit for Nicholas Jackson. How are you feeling about that? I suppose Ollie Watkins would then head off to Saudi.
Yeah, I mean, it's a season of change for Villa, and I'm very positive. I think that he's brought in good players. It was going to be a refresh or a revolution at some stage under Unai Emery, because so many players were getting older or would have wanted to move, cashing in on the fact that they were Europa League winners last season. So I think that obviously Aaron Wan-Bissaka's come in. I think he will slot in nicely. Hopefully we see the best version of him. I know that West Ham fans today were saying can be brilliant, can be a bit meh, which is what we know anyway. But I think that Nicholas Jackson is interesting in particular because obviously Unai Emery's worked with him before. Jackson has spoken very fondly of Unai Emery. So I think that if he comes through the door, hopefully he can hit the ground running, because the manager will say, create chances for this guy and he will score goals. In terms of Harwood-Bellis, I know that it was a low ball figure. It's exactly the same as what Arsenal did with Villa. In terms of the Konsa move, offering, 30 million, ends up 55 million or thereabouts. I think 20, 22, 25 will get the man, young player. Obviously capped for England not that long ago. And I would imagine that with the greatest respect, Southampton, the offer of potentially coming to a team that are playing in the Premier League would be something that he fancies. So, yes, a quicker evolution than perhaps Aston Villa and Unai Emery wanted, but very excited at the players that have come through the door thus far.
That news on,
go on.
I'm just going to say that news on Doku, Andy's a bit of a blow for Maresca, who wants to get off to a fine start, out for 3 weeks.
That's true.
Where you think City are going into the season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the key spend was Elliot Anderson. They wanted a new, for the next 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 years, holding midfielder. He can do way more than just holding midfield. And I think that whether it be for club and for country, I want to see him get forward more and create more chances, because he's a very good passer in the final third. So beyond that, they haven't gone, as we've seen Manchester City doing in many seasons, go and buy, lots of forwards, lots of defenders, rip up the rule book if it's not working for them. So Elliott was the major signing. And of course, they've let, a lot of key players go. Rodri in particular, James Trafford not so much, but they've let him go. John Stones, of course, Bernardo Silva. So you're looking at a lot of experience there. I think that they'll be in the top 3 or 4. I think it will be a consolidation season, as it will be for many clubs that have got new managers. But for City, I don't see them anywhere near Arsenal, who are my favourites to retain the Premier League title. It could be a third or a 4th position, if I'm right.
I agree. I mean, Maresca was good enough to get Chelsea in the top 4. I'm sure he can get City there with the players they've got. But they will take some replacing in early part of the season. I mean, you saw on Sunday, their midfield just wasn't up to it. And so they've still got to do work there.
Yeah. We should maybe let's talk a bit about Newcastle. And what they're facing. Again, a bit of a season of change for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that really there seems to be a bit of a down mood at Newcastle United. I think that kind of a little bit of steam has they've lost, because when the PIF came in, the Saudis came in, I think everybody was expecting that either the rules were going to change or they were just going to say, well, Chelsea and Manchester City have spent lots of money over recent seasons. We're just going to do it anyway. And the Saudis have been actually quite frugal. They've spent a decent amount of money. I mean, Touré coming in from Hoffenheim at 40 million euros, Dedic 20 million euros from Benfica, Bamba coming in, a new manager coming in. A little bit like Villa, really. It's going to be sort of Newcastle 2.0. But for me, I think it's that they're not going to break the glass ceiling of getting into the Champions League unless the PSR rules around PSR and the European rules change, because like Villa, they're going to have to sell players to balance the books, probably going to have to overpay on wages to be able to effectively bribe players to come to the club. So for me this season, I think that Newcastle, I've got them not in a struggle, but I certainly don't think they're going to be in the top half of the table. So for me, lost Bruno, huge loss for them in the centre of midfield. They brought players in, toss of a coin, especially when you've got players coming in from Bundesliga and the Portuguese league, where they'll be a success. So I've got them in, I think, at 11th, which I know a lot of Geordies will think, come on, Stan, but I just don't see all things rosy in the garden there at the moment, both on and off the pitch for Newcastle United.
Let's have a look at Chelsea. Your thoughts there? They've gone in a slightly different direction with Henderson and Welbeck, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's exactly the right move. I mean, I was very excited, actually, for Chelsea when, they spent the billion or whatever it was and bringing in the great and the good of young players from across Europe. I think there's a lot of merit to that, because if you look at what Arsenal, it's taken them 5 or 6 years, of Mikel Arteta to get to the summit of the Premier League. And a lot of people now will look back and say, what a shrewd move that was. I also think it's a shrewd move that Chelsea buying good young players that get to grow together is a really good, positive thing to do. Young players tend to be less injury prone. They've got their best years ahead of them, so they're ambitious. You look at friendships that are built in underage group football with the likes of Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers. Very, very excited, genuinely, to see them play. But I think that bringing in Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson it's not a genius move. It's just a common sense move. In every great title winning team or trophy winning team, pretty much you've got 2 to 5 senior heads in the dressing room that when you get results that are not going your way, and there'll be times during Xabi Alonso's tenure that will happen, that your senior players are go to on the pitch, steady the ship, but also in the dressing room. We saw with Jordan Henderson in England that he's a very, very important sort of talisman, if you like, for the group. And I think he will grow to be that in Chelsea. I don't see them getting into the top 4 this season. I know that for many people, they've got them potentially going head to head against Arsenal. I've got them in 5th. But no Euro distraction could quite easily see them 2 or 3 positions higher.
Good stuff. Stan Collymore with us. We're going to get a chance to talk about some of the other teams within the body of the Falls panel. Joe Shannon, our commentator, is going to be joining us for that, and one of the talkSPORT listeners, a panel beater this afternoon, to try and predict the scores of Arsenal, Cov, Hull, Manchester United and Newcastle versus Liverpool. We are here as always with the Tool Station. First stop for everything for the job from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Start strong, start it right. First stop, Tool Station.
So this summer has gone from bad to worse for Villa. Unai Emery, Morgan Rogers and Yuri Tielemans already gone, of course. And now it looks like Konza, that's the big one, is on his way to the Arsenal. Let's bring in another Gabby, who must be delighted. Gabby the Gunner, who has called us in 03717 22 3344. Gabby, a very good morning.
Dry your eyes, Gab. I know it's hard to take, but Constance made his mind up. There's plenty more fish in the sea. Dry your eyes, Gab. I know you want to make Constance see how much his pain hurts, but you've got to walk away now. It's over. Sorry, Gab. And Alan, welcome back, sir.
Thanks,
I'm
mate.
so pleased you've got a fit bill of health.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
No, I'm good, Gabby. Thank you very much, mate. I was missing this, so I'm back.
Missing you.
He's not missed you,
was
mate.
Missing you, Alan.
He ain't missed you, Gabby.
Oh, he always misses me. It's you he doesn't miss, Gab.
Well,
Come on,
can I
brother.
ask you a
I'm
question,
Gab in
though?
Essex.
You know,
Go on, mate.
spending what you spent again this summer, is the minimum Champions League and Premier League for Arsenal?
Oh, Gav, listen, you've got to always he'd make a
I'm
great
asking you.
politician, wouldn't he, Alan? He really would make
I'm
a
asking
great
you.
politician.
Are you closer to winning the Champions League with these signings?
I still think we're short of one exceptional striker. I think Osimhen, Alvarez, that's kind of the missing link. It could be enough with Solis and with the guys we've got.
What the hell is going on? This is literally Premier League football drama at its absolute best.
Oh
my Gabrielle!
I can't watch this.
Definitely saw it next.
Messi!
No.
Guys, come on! Get in it!
What was that?
You see this crap every single game in the Premier League.
Oh, this is
no goal.
That was embarrassing.
The Falls panel is back at this point of the show every week during the Premier League season. We try and predict the scores of 3 Premier League games, 2 of which in this case you'll hear live on talkSPORT. We'll get 3 points in the league table that builds. We get it absolutely right. We'll get 1 point for getting the outcome of the game right, nothing for getting it wrong. It's played between myself and Andy, Stan Collymore, one of our fine commentary team, and the panel beater, the talkSPORT listener. And Stan sticking around, ready to join us. Let's say hello to our commentator, Joe Shannon. Hello, Joe.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we?
Not so bad. You're on championship duty, a big London derby you're doing for us this weekend, I see.
Yeah, it'll be West Ham against Charlton. 62,500 sellout crowd there this weekend, gents, which, given everything that West Ham have been through of late, is remarkable. And I am watching Arsenal Coventry for our international partners tonight, so really looking forward to that as well.
Let's say hello to Motty, the Spurs fan. Hello again, Motty.
Good afternoon. How are you, gents?
Yeah, we're not too bad. Here we go, a new season, all the new optimism maybe. Let's find out. And as we said, Stan's with us.
Oh, it's just got to be better than the last 2 years, whatever happened.
The commentators won last year, so they will lead us off this time. We will start at the Emirates tonight. talkSPORT's live and exclusive commentary of Arsenal versus newly promoted Coventry. Joe, kick us off. What do you think?
Okay, a little bit of pressure to get things started for the commentators in that case then. Look, it's hard to look past a relatively comfortable Arsenal win. I think they've built an outstanding squad. They are the favourites to lift the Premier League once again. I'm hopeful that Coventry under Frank Lampard will have a decent season. It's possible, I think, that they stay up, but you can't look past an Arsenal win this evening, I don't think. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Arsenal victory.
3-0, says Joe. Stan, what say you?
Yes, will Cov do a Sunderland? Not for me. I know they've brought in 5 or 6 quite exciting players, actually, that Frank Lampard will be hoping that can bed in. But it's a baptism of fire, isn't it? The champions, they've added prudently. Ezri Konsa, of course, coming in. Bruno Guimaraes coming in. They've got the monkey off the back of the last 3 or 4 years of being nearly men. I think they'll go out and want to set their stall out and say, we are the champions, match that. Arsenal 3, Coventry 0.
3-0 Stan agrees. I've gone for the Arsenal win. I'm giving Cov a goal.
Yes.
I get that sort of exuberance of coming up, even in a tough game like this. And Arsenal have not been, they didn't let a goal into City last week, but there were chances. They've let a few in pre-season. I'm going 3-1. Andy?
I think it'll be more like a bit tight to start. I'm going 2-0 to Arsenal.
Okay, 2-0. And finally, Motti, the Spurs fan.
Just going to burn my lips as I say it, but I think 3-1 to those lot.
Oh, 3-1, yeah. Okay, well, sorry, Cov fans, but if you're on your way down for the match, but good luck anyway. talkSPORT listeners home in the car. Very good. Live and exclusive tomorrow lunchtime, Hull City versus Manchester United. And what do you think, Joe?
I'm fascinated to see how Manchester United get on this season. Obviously finished last season domestically really well. Now they have the added incentive and the added difficulty, I suppose, in some ways of European football, which could be a strain on the squad. The signings that they have made, I think, are very interesting, Michael Carrick's team. And, of course, as Stan was saying in relation to Coventry, it's a baptism of fire for Hull, isn't it? I mean, they will give it a good go back in the Premier League, but I think it will be a struggle. I'm going to go for Hull City 0, Manchester United 2.
2-0, says Joe. Stan?
Thinking along the same lines, Joe and I today. I mean, United have got good players. They've had good players over the last 4 or 5 years and a big squad, which I know they've trimmed down a little bit now, but still, nonetheless, they've got a capable squad. I've got them to finish second behind Arsenal this season, with or without Michael Carrick. I think they'll give Michael Carrick every opportunity to succeed. But as always with Manchester United, I think that they have the ability to be able to go for a top-quality manager if it didn't work out and they needed to pull the ripcord. Having said that, Hull have bought nobody of any note, really. Grit, determination, graft is going to be the tale of their season. Will it be enough to stay up? No. I've got them to finish rock bottom. Hull 0, Manchester United 2.
OK, well, I think it's going to be a bit of a cup-tie atmosphere. The old MKM will be rocking tonight. So I think they're going to take the lead. But maybe when the adrenaline drops, the quality may well out. So I'm going to go Hull 1, Manchester United 2. Andy Jacobs.
Yeah, it's difficult to look past United here. I think the thing is, if they do lose Carrick, they won't finish second because they'll be so far behind. They won't be able to finish second. So I'm not sure about that logic, Stan, but there we go. Come back to me on that. I think they'll win this, though, 2-1.
2-1, you're agreeing with me.
Yeah.
And Motti, finally, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this will be a tight one. I think 1-0 Man United.
1-0 Manchester United. OK, you can never tell. We saw in the Championship last week, it's so hard to predict these early games, isn't it? So, and playing newly promoted teams when they're at home is never easy. talkSPORT listeners home in the car. That one live and exclusive tomorrow lunchtime, 12:30. Sunday, a very emotional day for fans of both Newcastle and Liverpool. They'll be paying tribute to Kevin Keegan. Joe, what about this one?
Well, I'm sure, first of all, those tributes will be impeccable and will be something to really look out for over the course of this first weekend. In terms of the game itself, obviously a lot of change at both clubs over the summer, particularly in Newcastle in the context of the players that they've lost. I think Iraola is a great appointment potentially for Liverpool, but they have looked shaky defensively in pre-season. Are they quite ready to go just yet would be my question. I still think they will edge it. I think it'll be relatively tight, relatively exciting, and Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2.
2-1 says Joe. Stan?
Yeah, I think it's who plays the game, not the occasion, because there's going to be a lot of emotion around, isn't there, from both sets of supporters, the pre-match stuff, celebrating the life of Kevin Keegan, and we know the Geordies, how they can generate energy in that quite fantastic Central City Stadium, St James's Park. Will Iraola get a tune out of Isak and Wirtz consistently? If they do, I think that Liverpool will be very entertaining this year in a way that perhaps Arsenal won't. Arsenal, I can see winning games 2-0, 3-0, 1-0. I think there's going to be plenty of goals against, which is why I'm surprised they didn't go Liverpool for Aguay last year, push that a little bit more. And, of course, Ezri Konsa that's gone to Arsenal. Having said that, I do think Liverpool will have too much, and I think that they will go to Newcastle and win 3-1.
3-1, says Stan. I just think the Newcastle fan's going to be up for it. We're going to have, the kind of panto of them booing Isak, I'm sure, on his every touch. like Stan said, there's been signs that Verts and Isak have been looking good together. But I quite fancy the draw. I quite fancy him to pull off a bit of a shock. I've gone 2 each for this one. Andy?
I've gone 1-1 for the same reason. I think there'll be a lot of emotion. I'm not convinced Newcastle are going to have much of a season, but we'll wait and see.
Yep.
They've got nothing to go on at the moment, but I'll go 1-1.
Yep, OK. And Motti, finally.
I think Liverpool are going to be really strong this year, but they've still got to knit together, so I'm going to go with the Desmond.
OK, well, there are 3 draws, which is quite surprising, but we shall see, of course, on Sunday night who was right. But thank you, Motti. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you very much. Up the referees.
Indeed. Thank you, Joe. We'll hear from you tonight on the international front, and you'll be at the London Stadium, won't you, for talkSPORT?
Absolutely. Cannot wait for it, guys. Happy new Premier League season.
Indeed. Yeah, that's 3 o'clock kickoff on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow. And thank you, Stan. We'll catch up with you next week.
Stan.
Up the Villa, villains believe. Stop fretting on Twitter about outgoings. We've got plenty of quality coming in. Up the Villa.
That's what you want. A bit of positivity at the start of the season. There's the Falls panel back around the same time next week. Just before we head back to York for our third commentary of the afternoon, we're going to check in with Sam Ellard at Headingley, watching England play Pakistan. And it's another wicket for England.
Yeah, 7 down now, 95 for 7. Ollie Robinson into the attack, and he strikes. Jamie Smith is standing up to the stumps. Isman Ali is on strike. It's a full ball and off stump. The batter coming, just defending forward on the front foot. There's a thick outside edge. It bounces off Jamie Smith's thigh, standing up to the stumps. There was no chance of him taking the catch, and off his right thigh the ball balloons into the air, and Jordan Cox reacts really quickly. A third slip, coming forward, diving forward and taking a very smart catch. Ollie Robinson with his second of the innings. Karan now joins Rizwan at the crease, who's unbeaten on 15. Pakistan 95 for 7. England needing just 3 more wickets to win this test match.
Thank you, Sam. We'll keep an eye on that for you and pop back to Sam if there's any more wickets. It's time then for the third feature race of the afternoon. It's the Jim Crack Stakes.
Excuse me.
At York. Once again, Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly join us for commentary. Good afternoon again, guys.
I like what Stan Collymore just said then.
Up the Villa, the rallying.
Yeah, that's true.
Cry, yes.
There's a rallying cry. But, yeah, this Jim Crack 2-year-old race, it's one of the some traditional highlights because they have a dinner and the winning owner gets to deliver their thoughts on the current racing world.
Oh.
So
is it named after John Rickman? Is that why it's called? Wasn't he Jim Crack?
It may have been an old horse.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I know Jim Crack was a sort of title of some tipster in a paper.
Jim Crack, wasn't he the horse in a really famous Stubbs painting?
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm sure. Back to you, Dickie.
Maybe that was his nickname.
Well, and Jim Crack is a famous horse from way back when.
Yeah.
And that's why, and presumably...
Lizzie's right, let me just tell you. It's the famous 1765 George Stubbs painting depicting Jim Crack, an 18th century champion racehorse.
I remember backing him.
Yeah, I think Andy had a couple of quid on him. couple of guineas each way. Yes. So there we are.
You and me both, Andy.
Yeah.
Of course, it's become a noun, they say, which means flashy but cheap trinket or knick-knack.
Really?
There we are.
Yeah.
There's a bit of info for you there. Sorry, Rupert, you were saying.
Well, we've also got Marco Polo, who's the favourite in this race, and actually Aidan O'Brien hasn't got a particularly good record in this race. Last time he won it was with the horse owned by Sir Alex Ferguson, Rock of Gibraltar, almost over 20 years ago. So, but this one is the favourite for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, and Arapaho Gold is the second favourite, and for what it's worth, that's my selection. What's yours, Lizzie?
I'm going with the Day of Scarlet. He's finished second in Group 2 company 3 times, bless him, and he's got cheap pieces on for the first time today.
And co-owned by Michael Owen. Because it's trained by Hugo Palmer, who is based at Michael Owen's training establishment in Cheshire. And Michael Owen has, I don't know how many horses he's got, but he knows it's a pretty expensive business to run. There's a documentary coming out about his racing life, which is dominating his and his bank balance, I think, probably.
We also learned earlier on he loves killer whales.
Yeah, very
Andy
much
was
so, yeah.
He's a big fan of the orca. I don't know what that does.
Not Mallorca.
No, not Mallorca.
The orca.
He's a big fan of the orca. Not. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're nearly ready, aren't we? Save us.
Yeah.
from all this?
It was Arapaho Gold is last in, and they're off and running. And quickly into the stride was Ronson, and towards the back of the field, A Day of Scarlet was a little slowly away, but they've now settled down as they go through the first furlong, and it is Agamemnon who is taking them along, with on the outside of that one Matteo, who's 2 from 2, last winning it at Beverley, taking a keen hold. Marco Polo not really settling, Lizzie.
No, looks quite keen. Hopefully they'll get a little bit quicker now.
And 4 furlongs to go, and Agamemnon and Kieran Schumacher leading them along, with on the inside Matteo travelling up to challenge Ronson on the inside. Marco Polo has finally settled. Also right up there is Hell of a Spin going along nicely. Coming under a bit of pressure is Arapaho Gold. Also trying to get into it is Musab, but still out in front Agamemnon and Matteo, and trying to quicken up is Arapaho Gold now, and Arapaho Gold's got a bit of a split. On the far side, A Day of Scarlet's running a big race, but Agamemnon is bravely holding on. Here comes Arapaho Gold on this near side, also flying. Final Objective inside the final furlong. Arapaho Gold just has the advantage. In fact, is striding out. Final Objective may be the challenger, but Arapaho Gold is going to make it 4 from 4. Then Final Objective is flying at the finish, but not going to get there. Arapaho Gold for Conor Breezy and Michael Dodds makes it, as I say, 4 out of 4. Very impressive. A battle off to hold some Final Objectives flurry. Marco Polo, once again, a disappointment. Didn't settle for Aidan O'Brien, but it's Arapaho Gold who takes the spoils.
Yes, and Conor Beasley was desperately trying to find a gap. He managed to push him through, shove him through, and that's worked really well for him. Final Objective was a horse who came with a lovely run down the far rail. Poor old A Day of Scarlet fell out of the stalls and gave himself absolutely no chance. And as you said, Marco Polo just too keen in the opening stages of the race. But Arapaho Gold, he's been in flying form this season and continues again.
And in third was Hell of a Spin, quite well beaten in the end, but a distant third to Arapaho Gold. So winning our Jim Crack. Next is the sprint race, the 5 furlong Nunthorpe Stakes. Looks an absolute thriller in the making.
Might be nice to get your tips for the Jubbmonth, guys, before we let you go. So, Lizzie, you first.
Well, the problem is I can't make up my mind. I think if I was going to go for an each-way choice at a big price, she was 25 to 1 when I last looked at her this morning. I quite like Time for Sandals in this. She's been out of form until Goodwood last time, where she ran a really nice race to be third behind American Affair, who comes here looking to back up that victory at Goodwood. So she's kind of my big each-way chance.
Okay, it's interesting. Quinny was going for Bassio when we spoke to him earlier on, who I believe is the favourite.
That's right, yeah, he's a hot shot from America. The concern with him is that the ground has obviously gone a little bit soft, which wouldn't particularly suit the American horses, but he's apparently got a hell of a lot of speed, so he could be really interesting, obviously, but it will be they have a lot of gate speed, and that's kind of how they win their races, but obviously if the ground takes the speed away, then he might be up against it.
What about you, Rupert?
I'm going to go for the French raider Rayevka, who ran well at Royal Ascot, was beaten by Mission Central, but I think was a little unlucky. Mission Central flew out of the pack, but Rayevka, I think, has got a really good chance for the French to take the Nunthorpe, which will be run in about 60 seconds.
Wow, yeah, it's a proper... That's what he was saying. They belt out, don't they? So it should be fascinating. Back to you for that one, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Rupert and Lizzie.
Well, you meant the race was in 60 seconds.
Hell of a turnaround, isn't it? Just there's a race every 5 minutes. Anyway, talking of which, we're going to have a chat with Sam at Betfair very shortly. He'll probably have a little tip from their traders for the Nunthorpe, which we'll bring you live a little bit later on. Todd Macklin's going to be joining us in the next section of the show, and we'll have some clips of the week, and we'll hear from some of the managers ahead of the week.
It's been a very funny weekend in the cricket, Sam will tell us. But Kurum, he made 8. He snipped, both of them were edged through the slips. Oh, and unsurprisingly, he got out edging into the slips.
Oh, dear. Anyway, we'll have news of that and all the details from Sam Ellard at Headingley in a few moments' time.
2 weeks today the transfer window closes. Would you anticipate much more business in terms of incomings between now and then?
Well, you can see the league, how unpredictable the league is and the amount of things that can happen on a day. So it's better not to talk too much, be prepared, be open, and hopefully we can wrap up the transfer window in a really positive way.
You were speaking before the Community Shield. You were asked about your long-term future and contract negotiations, and you said there's nothing to worry about, Arsenal fans. Do you see yourself as somebody who can do what the likes of Guardiola and Wenger and Ferguson did and stay at the club for many years and build a dynasty?
I want to do what I'm capable of doing and what is the best for the club. And I feel very, very happy and grateful to be sitting where I am with the people that I work with every single day. And my ambition is to continue this way.
Was it strange at Cardiff on Sunday that you weren't facing Pep Guardiola in the dugout, given that rivalry that's developed and obviously your relationship with him?
It was different. Obviously, I know Enzo really well, but obviously the relationship that I built with Pep when we work with each other, and then the amount of headaches and sweats that he has provided to me over the last 6-7 years to try to catch up to the level and the standards that they set in the league has been an absolute inspiration. I think he's left a benchmark and a mark in this league that it will be history forever, and he made us, I think, all of us better.
Have you had many conversations with him since the end of the season, since you were crowned champions?
I had, and I have due to have an important as well in the next few days, and I'm looking forward to it.
Good afternoon, it's Hawksbee and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We're in the final hour. We'll bring you the clips of the week. As always, we'll hear from some of the managers ahead of the start of the Premier League. Tom Macklin will have some weird and wonderful stories from the world of American sports and lots more besides. But first, as promised, we're going to head back to Headingley and get a little bit more information on England's latest wicket against Pakistan.
111 for 8, Paul. England now needing just 2 more wickets for victory. Karim Shazad is the 8th to go for 8. As Andy said before the break, he edged 2 Josh Tongue deliveries past third slip that went to the boundary. Ollie Robinson came in from the other end, found his outside edge. This time it didn't go to the boundary. This time it went straight into the hands of Jordan Cooks, the third slip, who took a very good catch. Ollie Robinson has got 3 in the innings. England looking for 2 more wickets for victory in this first test at Headingley.
Thank you very much, Sam. We were talking about Michael Owen's love of orcas earlier in the show, and then to Rupert and Lizzie, and some of the listeners couldn't resist it. This is from Dom in Cornwall, says, sperm at Reeves. Yeah, okay, Dom. Yeah. Thanks for that. Florian Belugon, says Leon Ascot. Free Willie Miller, nice. Carlos Beluga, says Mark in Bromsgrove. It was Damien who gave us the other one. Carl Orca, says Barry in Cheshunt. There we are. Spur Metasaka. You get the idea. Thank you, Jed. I think we've probably exhausted those. Thanks for all of those. It's time then to get all the latest odds with Betfair.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Kick off the football season with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder. Odds of 1.5 or more on a minimum 3-leg bet. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
What was your one?
Henry Blowhole.
My dear old thing. You won't be happy with that, will you?
He won't, not really. No.
So, yes, Sam Rosbottom joins us from Betfair. Hello, Sam.
Hi guys, I'm put on the spot here with the whale chat. I mean, it just came to my head. Jose Mourinho back at Real Madrid. Will he get the hump back?
Oh, okay. Will he get? Yeah, that's not bad.
Probably will quite quickly, I'd imagine.
You won't win the £100 worth of Toolstation vouchers, but thank you, caller. Anyway, if you don't need our,
Yes.
You had a chat with Alan Shearer earlier on, we understand.
Yeah, certainly did. It was good to catch up with Betfair ambassador Alan Shearer this morning, getting his thoughts ahead of the upcoming season, how he feels about Newcastle, etc. Not very good, no spoilers. I did have to ask him as well about Harry Kane's latest comments. Apparently, Harry doesn't have the itch for the Premier League anymore, which is good news for Shearer's all-time Premier League goal-scoring record.
I guess from my point of view, yeah, people will just keep on saying, well, yeah, Alan will be happy that he's got another year abroad or another 2 years, whatever it is. Yeah, and the simple answer is, yeah, I get that and understand that. And not that I've been counting, but I think he's got 47 to catch me, which I guess probably 2 seasons. And when you're on the other side of 30, like of course he is, then those goals become tougher to get, particularly in the Premier League. There's such a lot made out of it. I guess if he stays at least another year, maybe 2, then I might be able to relax that a little bit more.
Surely either goals in the Bundesliga have got to count, or you've got to take 2 seasons of Alan's out of it.
Well, goals in the Bundesliga can't count for a Premier League record, Andy. I think that is pushing the rules a little bit, isn't it? I don't see him coming back, Sam, to be honest. I think he'll have a couple more years in Germany. He'll probably go to the States and then he'll retire.
Yeah, he made a really good point actually this morning, Alan, that he went to the Bundesliga for a reason as well. So and he looks great for it, doesn't he? You know, he's probably playing the best football of his career out there. If we did have a market on him to break the Premier League goal scoring record, I don't think his odds would be that short currently. But if he did come back to the Premier League, look, 2 seasons, he could probably do it. So I think he'd be pretty short if he was on the way back. But look, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? If he does
one more World Cup.
De Zerbi builds a machine of a Tottenham team, and all you really like Clive Allen. You know, when he came in and scored 49 goals, he could break the record in 1 season.
We're not talking about delusional fans again.
No, okay.
We did that the other day, didn't we?
You've got a dream, haven't you? So we've had a little bit of a bet builder on Arsenal Coventry tonight, haven't we, Sam?
Yeah, we certainly have. Obviously, we've got to take a look at the opening fixture of the Premier League, and it doesn't get much tougher, does it, for Coventry City, newly promoted and facing the champions? They're as big as 14-1 to go to the Emirates and get a win tonight. Arsenal very short at 2-11. The draw 6-1. Yeah, our bet builder raising money for the Bobby Moore Fund, guys. I believe you've picked a couple of selections in there.
I've looking at them. He got the opening goal in a sort of minute or so the other day against City. I mean, he bombs on for a fullback. He pops up in great areas. So I think Calafiori 1+ shots on target feels like a winner.
Yeah, like you said, that landed almost immediately in the Community Shield, didn't it? We're obviously going to be taking advantage of our safe sub markets as well there with that. So Calafiori to have 1 or more shots on target is in our bet builder. Andy?
Yeah, well, after a difficult season, even despite Arsenal's brilliant win, Ødegaard looks back to his best. He certainly did on Sunday. I fancy him for an assist tonight.
Yeah, a lot's been made, hasn't it, about the players that they're getting in. But I think having a refreshed Ødegaard is as good as getting a new signing, isn't it, for Arsenal? Ødegaard to assist, we've got that in there as well. I'm going to go with, for my selection, I think it's going to be convincing for Arsenal. I'm sorry to the Coventry City fans who might be heading to the Emirates tonight and might be getting excited. I just can't see past Arsenal being very convincing. So I'm dipping into the handicap market. I'm going to go with Arsenal -1, which is essentially Arsenal to win by 2 goals or more. They kept a clean sheet in all 3 of their league games at the Emirates against newly promoted sides last season. -1 for Arsenal landed in 2 of those. It was only the 1-0 win over Burnley where that didn't click, but they were pretty convincing against Leeds and Sunderland. So I'm going to throw that in there. Looking at our bet builder then, combining Calafiori to have 1 or more shots on target, Ødegaard to assist in the match, and Arsenal -1. We've backed that at just a bit short of 11-2. So our £50 charity stake will return £320 if all 3 land for the Bobby Moore Fund. We're on a roll, by the way, because our charity bet last week landed. That's 400 quid in the pot already. So fingers crossed we make it 2 from 2.
I think that was Max and Charlie we should thank for that one.
It wasn't us.
No, it certainly wasn't us. We are Jonas, as you'll discover during the season. Nice one, Sam. Have a good weekend. Thanks a lot.
You too, fellas. Take care.
Sam Rossbottom there from Betfair. All the latest offers, go to betfair.com, 18+, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Kick off the football season with a completely free ACCA or bet builder. Odds of 1.5 or more on a minimum 3-leg bet. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
I put it on silent and plane mode the whole time I was on holiday.
Good lad. I did
time.
message you and you pied me.
Well,
I was like, it's fine.
Well, I didn't get it.
Fine.
I didn't get the message.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm back now, right?
Yeah.
And I got a little surprise for you.
Oh, you got me a present.
I've got you a little prize.
Woo! What you got me?
I've got you.
What you got me? Ah! He's got me a Jason Cundy Tottenham shirt.
There you go, mate. You wanted one.
Is this official your shirt?
That's the official,
This
right?
is a match-worn shirt.
It's a match, well, probably match on the bench.
That's amazing.
I've got a little Sharpie here, mate, and I'm going to sign it in the break.
I want you to sign it. We have to come up with something. What are we going to put on it?
Dear numbnuts.
And that's amazing. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's in my mum and dad's house.
That's so good.
There you
That's
go.
fully fledged. This is proper Premier League.
Yeah.
That's
there you go,
thank you, mate.
That's
That's
all
going
right,
to go
see?
up on the wall. I
Is it?
didn't get you anything.
That's all right.
So sorry. I didn't think we were exchanging presents.
Well, no, it's fine. You asked. You did say to me, if I find one, can I have it? And there you go, mate.
You found it. Well done.
Found it, matey.
That's so good.
There you go.
Fits as well. Fits.
Excellent.
I love the old shirts because they're all massive.
Yeah.
So I can get that on.
Do you want me to sign it? You're going to stick it on your wall? You're going to.
Yeah. Of course I want you.
When Spurs play, you might wear it, Jay.
No. Yeah. What's number 26?
No, I got bumped out, didn't I? Jurgen Klinsmann took me 18.
Yeah, and that's Ledley King's number as well, isn't it? Literally, Cundy's the worst player to wear number 26 for Spurs.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Time then to talk American sports, as always, with Tom Macklin. Hi, Todd.
Hi, boys.
Now, we spoke last week. The big story in American sport last week was the Lakers being sold for $12.5 billion to Iger and Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, of course, brother of what kind of presidents? What would it make him?
He's
Anyway,
the president's son-in-law's brother.
that's it. That's indeed.
Thank you.
But there's a bit of a twist in the tale because anybody who watched Winning Time, the excellent series a little while ago on Sky Atlantic, I think, will know about the Buss family. Jerry Buss, no longer with us. Jeannie Buss, who kind of helped him run the business. They've still got a stake in the company. It looked like they were going to sell their shares to Iger and Kushner. But Jeannie Buss has decided she doesn't want to. It's a bit Succession-like. She's fallen out with the siblings. And at the moment, they've kind of, although they've all voted to sell their shares, she doesn't want to.
Yeah, 5 of the 6 siblings have agreed to sell their shares. Yeah, it is like Succession, and it's a shame because Jerry Buss, who was the father of all the kids, who's since passed away, he set it up so his kids would own the team. And here we are, and it's the team that's kind of tearing the family apart in this situation. So yeah, 5 of the 6 want to sell. She doesn't want to sell because she wouldn't have enough to become a governor, to stay on as a governor of the franchise with the NBA. So, that's why she needs a higher percentage to be able to do that. As part of the new deal with the new owners, she would stay on for 5 years as a governor because she'd have enough shares. But this is going to court like most of these things do, right? So she's filed a lawsuit to basically say, hey, the family needs her approval if they're going to sell these shares to the new owners of the LA Lakers. So, yeah, we just have to stay tuned to see kind of the first ruling in the courts before we can kind of see how this thing might play out.
And we read in the last few hours a guy called Patrick Soon Shiong, who's a South African-born billionaire. He's a minority owner, and he doesn't want to sell his shares either. So the plot thickens. We'll keep an eye on that.
How many shares are there?
Well, exactly. Well, there's minority shareholders like there are in a lot of businesses. Now, Roger Goodell, who's the commissioner of the NFL, has put the cat amongst the pigeons. He was chatting to German media, and he said there is no doubt in his mind the NFL will eventually have teams outside the USA. He actually did single out London as a city that could support potentially 2 franchises. But the logistics of that, Todd, really, running teams from outside the USA in terms of travel, even things like quite a lot of the players haven't got passports. They don't. It's just like the logistics of it are quite difficult, aren't they?
They are. Roger Goodell doing a great job of making people think that they could get an NFL team. He's done it to Toronto, where I live, for a long time. And it's part of the keeping people interested, right? And you have these games all over the place in the world, and for them, it probably keeps that interest that you want people to go to games if you think, hey, they could come there someday. We've talked about it on this show for years. The NFL, to me, is the only league that you could actually do it in just because of the amount of games. Right, the other leagues are 80 games or 160 games. It doesn't feel viable that you could do it. But the NFL, with 1 game a week, it feels like you could do it. But as you said, you'd have to get people to get passports. Listen, money always talks. So if there's enough money, I think anything is possible. It just doesn't seem viable. And, I think they're floating around that European league, right, where maybe London has 2 teams, Germany has a team, Spain has a team. But I don't see it in the near future. But again, it keeps people interested because you say, hey, there's always a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's this story about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We were talking about the Lakers under Jerry Buss. He was one of the stars of that team. His old UCLA jersey from 1968, when he was playing college basketball, has sold for $1.25 million, which in itself is a story. But the real story is the guy that sold it 50 years ago swapped it for a transistor radio. It was a game that he used to listen to Lakers. It was a radio that used to listen to Lakers games on, and it was important to him. But this shirt was available, and the guy said, "I'll swap it for your radio." And he said, "Yeah, fair play." So it's kind of paid off in the long run, doesn't
very
it?
much so.
Yeah, it shows you how big transistor radios were,
Yeah.
right, in the late 60s and 70s, that this was seen as value. The other thing it shows you is people had no idea back in the late 60s and 70s and before that how valuable things were going to become. This has become so valuable because I believe it's the only UCLA jersey, right, that they've used the photos to match it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor was his name then when he was playing for UCLA. And again, when it's kind of one of one, that's why the value is so high.
Yeah, it looks great. It's a brilliant design as well, very simple. But and just finally, every year the Yankees have a kind of Seinfeld evening. It's around George Costanza, because in Seinfeld, have you ever watched it? George used to work for Steinbrenner, didn't he? Yeah, played by Larry David, George Steinbrenner, the old Yankees owner. And I give away bobbleheads. The first 18,000 people in will get a George Costanza bobblehead. They give one away to the first people through the door. This one features him clutching a calzone, because there was an episode back in the day where Steinbrenner becomes obsessed with the calzone that George has, and George gets banned from the place that sells them. It's a bit like a day in Andy's life, as we discovered earlier on. But it's great. It's become a kind of institution, this annual George Costanza game, isn't it?
It's become incredibly popular, and people will be lining up for that game. I'm talking 8 to 10 hours early, just so they can be one of that. You said 18,000, just so they can be one of those first fans to get it, because again, someone's going to put this up for auction when they get it, right? And just they're incredibly popular.
Todd, we'll catch up with you next week. Good to talk to you.
See you, boys.
Tom Macklin there on American Sports. Bit of breaking news. And yeah, FIFA have gone medieval on the people that caused problems in the World Cup
Yes,
final.
I see that.
This has just come into us, and these are the bans and the fines handed down. Leandro Paredes, who was definitely the worst offender, a 10-match suspension and a fine of $90,000 US dollars.
Totally deserved, yeah.
Molina, 7-match suspension and a fine of $90,000. Thiago Almada, 1-match suspension, fine of $30,000. One of the coaching staff, Roberto Ayala, 3-match suspension and a fine of $30,000. And Gavi, 1-match suspension and a fine of $30,000. So they have not messed about, FIFA, if you thought maybe they were going to go easy. And we also understand here at talkSPORT that Leeds is showing an interest in Mykhailo Mudryk, Andy, on loan.
Oh, really?
Say.
Okay.
So, more on that as we get it. We got the final race of the afternoon, the big Juddmonte, should I say, in around 5 or 6 minutes' time. We'll cross to Rupert and Lizzie for that, for commentary, and then we'll bring you the clips of the week.
The man to your left was in Seattle, Miami, Houston, LA. He was all over the place. He was. He is Danny Murphy. And he was magnificent, particularly when you consider that one comment during commentary and he went viral.
He used to have a cat called Bob. The game's not that bad. Yeah, he jumped in the back of a Royal Mail van and we lost him.
We have a double substitution for Norway.
Sad, really.
Alexander
Anyway.
Now, you were talking about Bob the cat. Yeah. Tell us about Bob the cat, because by God, everybody went crazy when they heard that.
Well, firstly, it's nice to be appreciated, isn't it, for the good analysis and all the hard work I'd done on the teams, the formations, the players, the hours of effort you dedicate to your job. No, it was just one of those things that the game wasn't very good. We were chatting away. Oscar Bob came off the bench and it just came out, and then it went on and on.
Bob the cat. Why have you never shared this with me and Simon in the many hours that we share together?
Well, because I've got you two on a pedestal of being intellectual, sophisticated men. Well, at least one of you.
I was going to say.
So I didn't think that'd be a topic that you'd be interested in, but no, it was good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun. I think it's nice.
I don't like cats.
Do you not? No, that doesn't surprise me. Why don't you like cats?
I've never liked cats. I like dogs.
You don't like people.
The kit man, one of the most important cogs in a football club's machine. But it's not just laundry and hanging up shirts in dressing rooms. Oh no, it's hours of dedication and a real love of the game. Every club does it slightly differently, but ultimately the kit man's the guy washing the training gear, repairing holes, cleaning boots, and that's before they even think about the match day. The day before a home game, a kit man will already be at the stadium making sure the kit is ready to be laid out, and if anything needs doing in terms of printing, stitching, cleaning, it gets done. On the day, the kit men are almost the first ones there in the morning. They're unloading kit from the training ground, medical bags, anything else a player or a coach may need between their arrival and full time. Once things are in full swing, they actually help with the warm-up too. When the whistle goes and the match kicks off, it's the one time a kit man can put his feet up. At full time, if they're at home, it's easy. All the kit goes in the washing machines, dries, and is ready for use within the next 24 hours. Away from home, it's a different story though. If you're a kitman for Spurs, for example, you can't exactly use the machines at St James's Park. So it's back into the van, or onto the chartered flight, back to the training ground, wash everything there, and be ready to go again for the next game. Some might have to go to Europe a day later, so the pressure is definitely on. Working for a football club might look glamorous on the face of it, but we salute those who dedicate their lives to scraping mud off boots and washing a millionaire's underpants.
So we head back to York for the jump on our final
lovely.
race of the afternoon. Rupert Bell, Lizzie Kelly, once again with us. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back.
So, not far off now, then, of the big race of the afternoon. Just remind us, Lizzie, who you fancy for this one?
So I really like Time for Sandals as a bigger each-way choice, and my other option was Night Raider, who's a horse who can be a little bit hit and miss, but I love him so much I'd sort of just follow him off the side of a cliff.
Well, we've gone with, I've had a little sneaky each way with you on that one. You said it was quite long odds, so fingers crossed. Rupert, what about you?
I've gone for Rayevka, who is the French horse, is being backed actually. Baccio, the American horse, is the favourite, the one that's likely to blaze a trail, but the ground might be against him. But Rayevka, I think, has a really good chance and does like a slightly tackier ground that we've had following some rain earlier in the week here at York. But it really is, will be fast and furious. You're going to need luck in running if you're trying to come from off the pace, because as I say, we've got a field of 18, so you need things to go right, and because there isn't much time to regroup in a race of this nature, because these are experienced. And also, quirkily, we have a 2-year-old in this race, and it's Pashada, and gets so much weight from the rest of the field. And the last time a 2-year-old won this race was back in 2007. It can happen, but as I say, it would maybe a bit of a surprise, although not. Oh, Baccio is rearing up in the stalls. Lizzie there, the favourite, but has been settled. The horse next to him is Ain't Nobody and Kevin Stott doing the best to keep Baccio calm there, Lizzie.
Yeah, giving a helping hand, making sure that he's not going up by holding on to those reins nice and tight.
And last year's winner, Asfour, is trained by Australian Henry Dwyer, and she's a game horse, but I think hasn't been in great form this year. But it will be an intriguing contest. Rayevka, the French raider, coming forward sweetly enough, and I think we've got a couple more. As I say, Baccio, will he be able to last home? He's so impressive at Royal Ascot, where he sluiced home. Night Raider is the last one to come in. Just getting a little unsettled there is Fitzzeller in the stalls, but that's it. They're off and racing, blazing a trail, and quickly into the lead. JM Jungle is into the lead, looking for the favourite. Baccio is also coming down on the far side, has got into a lead. Night Raider is right up there. Tracking that one is American Affair. Starlust is right up there, and the 2-year-old Pashada is in a prominent position. Coming down the stand side, we can see it is JM Jungle. Asfour is right in the mix as well as they go through the first 2.5 furlongs. Ain't Nobody is right up there, an American Affair as they come through. Night Raider's right there, tracking Baccio. Plenty in with chances on the far side. Rayevka also trying to get into the mix. Time for Sandals. Plenty in with chances. Starlust trying to read their way through as they come inside the final furlong. Baccio still holding on. JM Jungle, red-orange, trying to come from out the back. But still Baccio is scorching down the front. Rayevka trying to weave his way through. But it's going to be Baccio. Has hold off all comers. Flying at the finish is Rumstar to finish in second with Starless, and Time for Sandals in fourth. But Baccio, the flying American, has done it. Love the ground, love the conditions, and loves the winning feeling.
Yeah, what an amazing show of speed. He was absolutely scorching up the home straight there. Phenomenal performance, 3-1 as well. Really, really impressive. And yeah, I think it was Starlust who managed to get ahead in front for second, and Time for Sandals fourth, and that's Rumstar as well in third there. But my goodness, so quick. We were worried about the ground, but absolutely not a problem.
Well done to Baccio. Wesley Ward, the trainer, he's made a habit of winning races at the Royal Meeting, but here he's got this flying sprinter, so impressive at Royal Ascot, and there was maybe question marks about the ground, but they were put in their place. The 3-1 favourite, we're just waiting on the minor positions between Starlust and Rumstar, who's run another gallant race, and I think Rayevka may have snatched fifth, and I know some bookmakers are playing first 5.
Fantastic, guys. A pleasure as always. So that's you done now for the season. When will you reconvene to commentate again?
We're going to be defrosted in March.
We come out of... Rupert the Bear is going into his hibernation mode for the winter.
We put Rupert
you at the Lansdowne.
We put Rupert in a little shoebox, and we put some straw on top of it, and we put him in the shed.
And then we will come out for the Supreme Novices Hurdle at Cheltenham.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
In March.
Well,
so there we go.
God willing, we'll be there with you. So thanks as always. We'll catch up with you soon. Thanks, Rupert. Thanks, Lizzie.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
There we are. That's Rupert Bowe and Lizzie Kelly. Brilliant as always. And they'll be back with us at Cheltenham for the festival. You can watch every race live from the York Ebor Festival. It's racing for the rest of the day and tomorrow, of course, only on Racing TV. For this week only, talkSPORT listeners can get Racing TV for just £5 per month for 10 months. It's a 12-month minimum term applies. Head to racingtv.com/Ebor offer now for full details. I believe they're 9 down there, aren't they?
No,
it's all over.
It's all over.
It's all over. Let's check in and get that confirmed from Sam Millard. England have won the first test against Pakistan. Sam.
Yep, they got there. No McCullum, no Stokes. The new head coach, Stephen Fleming, not here just yet, but no problem at all. Joe Root's return as captain is off to the perfect start, and one of the more comfortable victories I think you're going to see after 4 wins in 13 in Test cricket. We'll take it from the moment that Ollie Robinson picked up a wicket with the first ball of the Test match. England in control of this Test match. They win by an innings in 103 runs. Earlier on this morning, England were bowled out for 409, but it took England just 32 overs this afternoon to take the 10 wickets. Pakistan bowled out for 135. Robinson, Archer and Tongue all with 3 wickets. Pakistan bowled out for 135. Joe Root's return as Test captain is off with a convincing victory. Second Test match is on Thursday at Lords. England win the first one at Headingley by an innings and 103 runs.
Thank you, Sam. Cheers. So there we are.
England's record's so good at Headingley. It makes that decision not to have a test in the next 2 years balmy.
It is. Absolutely, totally agree. It is time then for the clips of the week with our good friends at Toolstation.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. First stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT clips of the week.
Andy, why don't you get us underway?
Yes, we kick off this week with Alan Brazil quoting the Hull City owner after TNT's Joe Cole said he didn't fancy going there.
Illicali, the owner, posted in response, the true beauty of a place isn't in its people, and that's why for me Hull is one of the most beautiful places in the world. The true beauty, let me get my head around this. The true beauty of a place is in its people. Sorry.
That's make a slightly different emphasis on it.
I don't think the owner would have said that. Anyway, here's Simon Jordan chatting to Jim White and finding extra work for their producer Luke.
Luke can be on popcorn detail because I bought a new popcorn machine for my garden. So Luke can run around getting my popcorn for me.
You've got a popcorn machine?
I do.
Yeah, there's a bit more to that clip, quite importantly. So
quite importantly, really? What happened?
Because the gag off the back of it doesn't completely work. He says, you've got a popcorn machine. I don't know what's going on there. To which we would have said, I don't know, making popcorn. But that is all a bit pointless, really, isn't it? Anyway, what's clip number 3?
Beautifully edited.
Beautifully done. Clip number 3, then.
Who knows? This is commentator Adam Bridge at Bolton versus Preston.
Everson finds Valentine, who keeps the ball in. It's cut out to Devine, right edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, no one's got a divine right to be.
You've got no divine right to be on the edge of the penalty area.
We were just glad that we got to the end of that clip, really.
So, it is it me? It's back to Big Al with a nice shout-out.
Listen, best of luck to all the kids out there receiving the GSEs.
Yeah, well done if you got your GSEs.
I don't know what that is.
I've got a clue, really.
Me neither. Yes, Alan, looking ahead to tonight's big game.
Champions Arsenal kick off the season against newly promoted Coventry City. Marcus Arteta spoke to talkSPORT yesterday.
Maybe they're like the Cowleys. Maybe
they are.
Mikel has brought Marcus in, clearly to do the job alongside him.
Yes, this is Jamie O'Hara auditioning for a presenter's role on The Sky is Night.
Obviously, the sun is huge.
Yes.
The moon ain't.
Night.
What's The Sky is Night?
It isn't about the people.
Yes, that's right. It isn't about the people. It's The Sky is Night.
Right.
So there's the sun's big, the moon ain't. He could be the new Patrick Moore, couldn't he? Here's Amelia Beltrao, who's clearly not a fan of this Palace and England midfielder.
Rice and Saka will both be fit for Arsenal tomorrow, and Adam Wharton's going nowhere.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it, really? A bit harsh on a young player making it in his career. What's next?
It's back to Simon Jordan.
I can't get over The Sky is Night. That's a great show.
I just called him Simon Jordan.
Yes.
Back to Simon Jordan.
Yes.
This is a clip in itself, this whole clips of the week. Back to Simon Jordan with a not altogether unexpected statement.
I don't like cats.
Do you not? No, that doesn't surprise me. Why don't you like cats?
I've never liked cats.
I hope you don't put them in the popcorn machine.
It's one of my favourite musicals, really. Although I do prefer Starlight Express.
I could see Simon at Starlight Express. Anyway, let's get the news now with Sinead Garvin.
Rotherham's new AI GP system is leaving patients frustrated because it cannot understand Yorkshire accents. Watchdog Healthwatch says the software, meant to cut queues, struggles with regional voices and speech impediments, but they're fixing to work it. They're working to fix it.
They're fixing to work it, of course.
Yes, by Luther Vandross, isn't it?
I think it was one of his. Yeah.
Working to fix it.
Yes.
This is Alan talking 007 with Gabby Agbon-Lahore.
Apparently, the next Bond film could be relocating out of London.
Oh.
Any guesses, Gab?
Any guesses where or who?
Yeah.
London Bridge?
I think that's in London. Oh, isn't there one in Arizona?
Yeah, I think they might.
Some American bloke. But maybe he
That's
meant
what
that
he meant.
one. Yeah, I don't think Gabby was aware of the one in Arizona. I could be wrong. And finally, Andy, what's next? What's that?
Ali McCoist and Katie Shanahan tested Alan Brazil with a top 10 pronunciation quiz.
But it's easy.
Phenomenon. Phenomenon.
Say that again.
Phenomenon. That's right.
Phenomenon.
Yeah.
But it sounds different coming from Alan.
You did an M in. You'd put an M in
No, I
at the
didn't.
end. Try it again.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Well,
yeah.
That was even longer than we thought.
That's right, and it was long enough to start with. Anyway, I thought he nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, of course, that did actually remind us of something.
Phenomenon. Phenomenon. Phenomenon.
You get the idea with that. So we should thank Paul, the Manchester United fan in Rochdale, Dave in Benfleet, Steve from Lisbon, Zoggy the Gooner, Ian in Whitstable, Glyn Barrington, Fraser in Welling Garden City, Dave Clark, James in Inverness, Roger in Durham and Nick Ellaby. If you hear a clip on talkSPORT over the next 7 days, please send it in to us, talksport.com/H&J. Text it to 81089, tweet to TSH&J. We just need a day and a time when you heard it go out. And if it's played, you'll get a credit like those guys. If you want to hear the clips of the week again, and The Sky is Night, which was my favourite clip, and it wasn't even a clip, you can download it. It's available as a podcast in the next half hour. And the H&J Daily with some of the best bits of this afternoon's show is available as well. And that'll be up in about the next half hour. And Graham Scott joined us, who was very interested in the big West Brom Hegabo handball, what's the word I'm looking for? Retrospective ban. Anyway, you get the idea with that. So they were the clips of the week. And that was a bit of a bin fire, let's be honest. And we're going to be hearing from the managers very, very shortly ahead of the Premier League games this weekend. But they were the clips of the week with Tool Station.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Tool Station. First stop, Tool Station.
Danny, when you look at it, United in that fairly congested midfield area, say Baliba comes through the door, Tielemans is there, Santos, Mainu, Bruno Fernandes. Well, it's going to be a mighty old force in midfield, is it not?
It looks a very strong group of players, all giving little different parts of what you want. A far cry, really, from what we've seen over the last couple of years. United struggling in midfield areas. And I think we're talking about one of the biggest clubs in the world. They'll be looking to try and compete for the Premier League and the Champions League in the next couple of years. Of course they will. That's the aim of a club like Manchester United. So you need at least five, when you think about it, in the middle of the park who are going to be pushing each other, especially if they play a three. You know, Bruno's probably the one standout, you say, in all the big games he's going to play. Yeah. He's got great durability anyway, and he's the match, the game changer, the match winner, the creative force, the goals. I would imagine for me, out of the others, Santos, Baliba, both young lads, both got more to come. Tielemans is more rounded, more ready to take that on. I think Tielemans has
Where's it leave Menu? A lot of people asking me to ask you that.
Well,
and what's your ideal starting three?
I think that would depend a lot on where they're at when they come in and how they adapt to the pressure and expectation of being at Man United, because that's never easy. I think initially he might go Tielemans, Bruno and Mainu, because Mainu knows what the manager wants already. I think Belieber will become one of the main men.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria. You could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Just before we hear from the managers, talkSPORT predicts 6 is back for a new Premier League season with £50,000 up for grabs. Earlier, Laura Kirk-Francis sat down with Gabby Agbonlahor to get his predictions ahead of the first round this weekend.
talkSPORT's Predict 6 is back, where you can make 6 selections, all for a chance to win a massive £50,000, all for free. I'm here with Gabby Agbonlahor, who is going to take us through how this works. Are you ready?
Looking forward to it.
Are you ready? So first up, I need you to choose 2 teams to win from this list of games. So your options are Everton versus Crystal Palace. Then we have Ipswich versus Sunderland, Nottingham Forest versus Leeds, and then Brighton versus your beloved Aston Villa. I need 2 winners.
Okay, first game I'm going to go with is I think Everton beat Crystal Palace 2-0. Home game for Everton, first game of the season at home, positive result for them. And my second one, I'm going to go for the mighty Aston Villa to beat Brighton and Hove Albion 3-1.
Very nice. Okay, so you've gone with Villa and Everton there. Next up, I need a correct score. Brentford versus Spurs.
Oh, okay. Brentford versus Spurs. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Give me the draw, okay. Same question for Newcastle versus Liverpool. Very tasty one to start the weekend off with.
Okay, Newcastle versus Liverpool. I'm probably going to go for a 3-1 win for Liverpool.
3-1?
Yeah, Newcastle in a bit of a trouble.
You remember this game last year?
I do. Was that Ingamoa scored the winner?
Indeed, yeah.
Good memory, Gabby.
Good memory for you, yeah. And then finally, Monday night, Chelsea travel to Fulham, the West London derby. I need, kind of West London derby if you can call it that, I need the correct score and the first goal scorer.
Okay, correct score, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Chelsea. And first goal scorer, I'm going to go for João Pedro.
João Pedro. And a win for Chelsea.
Yes, of course.
Okay then. So there you have it. 6 selections, and that could land you a whopping £50,000. To participate, you just need to go to talksport.com/predict6.
That's right. So, yeah, just head to talksport.com/predict6 for your chance to win 50 grand. Just time to squeeze in a couple of the managers. Roberto De Zerbi revealed his plans for the captain's armband this season.
Yes, the new captain is Mickey van de Ven. The second, Pedro Porro. The third, Ben Davies. The fourth, James Maddison. And the fifth, Archie Gray. Why 5 captains, just because I want many captains inside of the pitch, and to be clear in the position. And every one of them they deserve to be a captain or in the group of the captains. But the personality, the passion is not if you have if you are captains or you are not captains.
And when he says James Madison, I say it's a bloke called Jeff Medicine.
Who's the 11th captain?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of captains. But
too many captains.
Well, we'll see. Enzo Maresca, the new City manager, has been speaking to the media, and he gave an update on Savinho.
It's quite clear when players they want to leave, and then it's difficult for any reason they want to leave. Then it's complicated to convince them to stay or to change their thoughts. So it happened with Rodri. The same thing is happening with Savinho. Since day one, he asked me that he wants to leave. So now we are waiting, but it's complicated, when the players they are thinking that they need a new challenge or they want to change because they want probably back to Spain or they want to play more minutes for different reasons. So it's become complicated then to convince them to stay.
And let's hear quickly from Mikel Arteta. He's determined to pick up where he left off last season. He's relishing the challenge.
We're going to have to prove if we have the level to go back to that position again. But I think that happened in the last 3 seasons. At some point we were first, some of the time we were chasing it. And you never know what is better. If you give me the choice, I want to be first, and I want to be hunted, and I want to be in control of our future rather than depend on somebody else.
There we are, that's Mikel Arteta.
You're really looking forward to a season of those.
Yeah, you're going to hear more from him, I'm sure, this evening after the game between Arsenal and Coventry. It is live on talkSPORT. We kick off the season, of course, with that big game, and we'll bring you tomorrow lunchtime Hull City versus Manchester United. So enjoy the match tonight. Enjoy the first weekend of the season, barring the Fulham and Chelsea fans who have to wait till Monday. We'll catch up with you on Monday and pour over all those matches. Coming up next, it's Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent to continue the build-up to the start of the Premier League season. Have a good weekend.
For the record, we've had 7 different Premier League winners.
Over 33 years, over 34 years.
But this time...
Wow.
But this time, Simon, do you not agree that this is probably the most competitive ever Premier League season on the horizon?
For participation, not for winning. You're going to be one of the 4 clubs that has the biggest turnovers is going to win the league. Aston Villa are not going to win the league. Newcastle are not going to win the league.
So how do you explain Leicester when they did it?
A rare and absolute anomaly that was never allowed to happen again, because all the big clubs sat on their hands, suddenly decided that they could all do things in a certain way, and they got caught with their pants down, even to the way that they allowed Leicester to play. Everybody knew how Leicester played. Drinkwater gets the ball, looks up, knocks it long for Vardy, and yet on the last game of the season they were doing the same thing, and teams were still playing the same way against them. So don't ask me how I explain that situation, but it's not going to be repeated, and it hasn't been repeated since, and that was now a decade ago. So who's won the league since then, and who won the league prior to that?
So tell me straight, how many teams this time around do you feel can aspire to win the Premier League?
2, 3. But that doesn't mean the league's not competitive. The argument, why would you suggest that governance needs to be brought in to the most successful league that has been the commercially most successful league in the history of football? Why are you regulating it? What are you regulating it from? I understand what he's saying is that the Premier League clubs want some degree of control. They want governance. Yeah, they want good disciplines. They want good governance. They want good regulation. Is your regulation with the consequences of the way that clubs